President Biden is also expected to press Xi on establishing a military-to-military channel for the two nations, a move the Chinese have been reluctant to take.
Fox's Jared Halpern.
What he should talk about in the meeting is the fact that they have to stop murdering Americans by sending fentanyl. They have to stop stealing our intellectual property so that they can build up their military. They have to tell us why they're putting a military and spy base in Cuba.
Presidential hopeful Nikki Haley, who's defending her own record on China after criticism from some fellow Republican candidates. Health officials in Gaza say more than 11,000 Palestinians have been killed as Israel battles Hamas. IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner telling Fox News,
"Our goal is to evacuate people from the combat zone in order to get them out of harm's way, whereas Hamas wants to keep them keep them in harm's way and jeopardize them even more."
Thousands remain caught in the crossfire.
The focus right now, according to Israeli officials, is 3 hospitals in the northern part of Gaza where they say there are Hamas fighters inside, along with civilian patients. This is complicating the battlefield.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. U.S. troops shoot down an attack drone in Syria, the 47th recent attack by Iran-backed groups on U.S. forces in the Middle East.
This is the 5th time since the U.S. carried out airstrikes on the IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps weapons storage facility, a strike that was supposed to deter Iran and its proxies.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
No question, we are back to that November feel. Sunny skies this afternoon. About 62 should do it for the high. Tonight, clear skies. We will drop into and through the 50s. And it's cold overnight, 32. Saturday, obviously a cold start. Sunshine, pretty close to 60 for the high Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, partly cloudy and 35. Sunday, sunny and 62. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me next spring on a beautiful trip to Italy. This is going to be great. We're going to fly into Rome. We are going to get on a bus and travel south to the Abbey of Monte Cassino, maybe Italy's best-kept secret. It looks like something out of a picture book. We'll visit Puglia. We'll go to Caserta. We're going to spend several days in Sorrento. You'll have an opportunity to visit the ruins in Pompeii, and then Positano, which is on the Amalfi Coast and absolutely one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I can tell you, my wife and I have been there, and we can't wait to go back. You can even take a high-speed jet foil over to the Isle of Capri, which has some tremendous historic Roman ruins on it that you can visit while you're there. $53.67 a person. That includes your airfare from the St. Louis area. Call them toll-free at 888-733-9494. That's 888-733-9494 or conservativetours.com.
It's Annie Frey, and I'm inviting you to join me and support Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon campaign. The Blue Ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 240 hostages taken by Hamas terrorists and unites you with people of all religions, races, and nationalities in telling the people of Israel they are not alone. Be part of the movement. Tell Israelis they are not alone. Every dollar donated goes to saving lives and providing support in Israel. Visit jfedstl.org to learn more and donate. jfedstl.org.
Boy Next Door or Handsome Stranger. You don't have to choose because Pluto TV has all your rom-com favorites, all for free. It's TV the way it should be. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And I wonder, in fact, if all Americans' prayers aren't the same as those I mentioned a moment ago. For all we can ever do for our heroes is remember them and remember what they did, and memories are transmitted through words. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, grave and gray-haired. But most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember.
Boy, doesn't it sound nice to hear the words spoken by Ronald Reagan. Today, we are acknowledging Veterans Day because, of course, we're not going to be here tomorrow on Saturday. But we're going to spend the days just making sure that we pay a little extra attention to those people who have given so much to this country to make this country the absolute best country on the face of the planet, who have put us in a position to be generous and giving to the rest of the world, because in America, the people are the ones that matter. And the veterans, the people who sign up, who step up and have kept this country free, we thank you. I have a YouTube live chat poll question up for today. And I need a lot of participation in this one for fear of, I don't, you guys think we're going to get any votes for the third one here? The third opportunity?
I really don't.
You think there's going to be a 0%? This is just going to challenge someone to come vote for that one.
This could, well, yeah, now that I've said it.
But who can click it? Who would venture to click it?
Yeah, it's this should be the most one-sided poll that we've ever had. So Let's make it that way.
On the Annie Frey YouTube channel each day, we broadcast a show live. You can come vote and participate and watch and hang out with us from noon to 3 on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, while we are also broadcasting live, of course, on 97.1 FM Talk and the Odyssey app, which goes everywhere, by the way. And today's poll is, are you or do you love a veteran? You've got 3 opportunities. I am a veteran. I salute a veteran. We want to see who that person is in the comments, because we're going to recognize some of those people today. And the third option is I'm a communist.
Yeah. Yeah. The third one is one that I'm thinking we're not going to see as much of, and kind of, hope and pray that we don't.
America.
There you go.
My grandfather served in the Army, and I'll share a picture of him later in the show. And he was a captain, I believe. He got into being a captain in World War II because my understanding was he was a topographer for farm plats and maps, and that was a skill that translated well into the Army, becoming a topographer in the Army. He served in the Pacific Theater. He served in Australia in the same building as General MacArthur. He met my grandmother in Australia. My grandma is from Australia, and I think that there was, sorry, Dad, 8-9 years between the two of them. My grandmother was maybe 18 at the time, and my grandfather was in his 20s, and they met, they fell in love, they got married. I think this is over the time span of months. She got on a big boat, came into the United States. I think it's through San Francisco. Got on a train, arrived at Union Station in St. Louis, and moved in with her in-laws a year before he even came home from the war. And I'm very grateful that he came home from the war. My dad's an only child, so I grew up next door to my grandparents. I knew my grandpa and my grandma incredibly well, but he wasn't the type of guy who didn't want to talk about anything. He was the type of guy who wanted to talk about it. He loved to talk. But I was kind of young. He died in 2004, I'd have been 20 years old. And I think that he passed away about 2 weeks after I started dating Jared, my husband. And my husband has a history degree. He's a middle school history teacher, social studies teacher. And I can't really say that it's a regret, but it just seems really unfortunate that I wish that my husband could have had just a couple kitchen table conversations with my grandpa, because I remember my grandpa telling me stories, and I remember the stories, but I didn't understand them at 20 years old or younger in the context of history,
right?
Which my husband was super into. And I just think there would have been a connection between those two individuals that would have preserved a lot of that for me.
Isn't it amazing, the older you get, the more you understand the gravity of some of these stories that you've heard, not just, of people that you know, but even outside of times that you would have known people. You read history books, you read stories, and when you're a teenager, you go, oh, that's interesting. And then as a grown adult, you get it more than you did, and you get the gravity of people going through those situations.
100%. And I spent more time talking with my grandma because, imagine being 18 years old, meeting a Yankee, getting married, and then just getting on a ship and going to a new place.
Yeah.
Her childhood was challenging. She had a bunch of siblings. Her mom died when she was 14, 13 maybe. And I think she was the second oldest of the siblings. So she kind of assumed a motherly role in her teenage years. And my understanding is that they were incredibly poor. But this is Depression era Earth, not America, but in Australia. And it seems to me like I would sit and I would talk to her and ask her questions, and I would sit, I can see where every piece of furniture, I know where the salt and pepper was in the kitchen when I was talking to her. Camo X was on the old radio sitting there, in this kind of, what do you call that, alleyway kitchen. And we'd sit there and I'd talk to her, and I remember almost being distracted in my mind, convincing myself or pushing myself, soak it all in, remember all of this, like take it in, don't miss a word. And I was so laser focused on trying to remember the things she was telling me. And I do remember quite a bit of what she told me, but I remember being so focused. That's part of what I remember, was trying to be like, give all of this to me. I want to download this and have it forever. And those conversations are so important. Just learning about how she would integrate into the United States. My understanding is she got her high school, I think she got her GED. Gosh, I hope I'm not messing all this up. She went to university here, and I think she didn't graduate because she couldn't easily pass U.S. history, which...
I mean,
how many of those kids could pass U.S. history right now?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like the version of it. But I mean, she didn't know it. There was no precursor to United States history that she had learned. So it was just very difficult for her to amass all of that information. But she did become like an English tutor. I think she was a teacher. I don't know if she ended up overcoming that, but she struggled in America in a lot of different ways. My grandmother was... She served in some capacity that in the 40s a young woman could serve in Australia. She served Australia on the good side, and just her love for she was kind of a feminist in a way, but like one that I'm proud to stand next to. I think I got a little bit of my edge from her willingness to say, well, this is kind of what I think and what I believe, and she would quietly, a little bit stubbornly, do that. And there's an appreciation you have for a free country. In both cases, my grandmother, who was not born here, and I mean, she's coming from Australia. It's not like she was coming from a third world country or anything, but she was coming from poverty. And my grandfather, who saw unimaginable things in World War II, you know how fragile it is. And I compare the people who came out of that greatest generation, whether they served or whether you remember, if you were born in a time where maybe you were raised in that moment, weren't old enough to serve, but you understand the way the world was and the way this country was. You just have a grasp of the fragility of order and sanity and good and evil. And when you compare that time in our country's history and in our world's history to where we are right now, I think there's a generation of people who maybe grew up hearing their greatest generation parents talking about this, have just a touch of more understanding of those stories that I couldn't relate to because I was growing up in the 90s, that just understand the fragility of what we have in this country and the need to protect it, in some cases with American blood. And even further than that, the all costs necessities to keep us from ever getting there again. I could turn this easily into a political statement, and I'm not going to, but I think it's very important to, on a day like today or tomorrow on Veterans Day, to really stop and pause and look at the people who say, I'll go, and be almost speechlessly grateful for that. To just stand and put your hand on your heart and be grateful. In my case, that somebody out there is better than I could ever dream to be, to put themselves in a position to have seen the things that they've seen, to do the things that they have done, that I fear that I never want to, I don't even want to comprehend it. When we see what's happening overseas right now, how many very high profile military connected people have we had on the show? They're like, Annie, war is hell. And I can sit here and go, I saw this on Twitter and it's horrific. It's like, oh, you saw that on Twitter? I'm real sorry that made it into your Twitter feed. Do you want us to clean that up for you? For your soft eyes? We have to understand the cost and the price of freedom, and there are people who do. And they are our veterans, and they are our active military. They're the people who serve our country And I mean, you know, I can look back and think about my grandma, and I'm very proud of her that she served her country, again, on the good side. And I mean, there's no politics that needs to be involved. This should be a pretty bipartisan thing.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you talk about your grandma before. She recently passed away.
This is a different grandma.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why I'm asking the question,
Mm-hmm.
because I just wanted a little clarification. The one that came over when she was 18,
Mm-hmm.
did she have an accent her
Oh,
whole
yeah,
life?
for sure.
So she was able to basically tell her
She
story.
sounded like Bluey's grandma.
Really?
Yeah.
I just wondered, because whenever somebody has an accent, usually people ask them, "Oh, where are you from? You know,
Mhm.
how long you been here?" So she was able to tell that story for basically her entire life because people would ask her, right?
Yeah. She called me love. That
Yeah.
was like, you know, come here. If your grandma calls you dear, honey, sweetie, whatever, I was love. One of the things that I found interesting is she had a series of strokes before she passed away. She passed away in 2002, in September of 2002. And she had a series of strokes. And I remember after maybe the first bigger one that she had, she just trouble recollecting things and finding words for things. She needed time. She was in as good a health as she was before. She wasn't in the greatest of health, but she could get around. She could do stuff, but it affected her mind and her ability for her thoughts to get out of her mouth. I think she was still thinking. I think that the transition to getting it out, and it was so frustrating for her because she was, okay, I care about proper grammar. Right, Brad?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh.
Well, and so does my dad, right, Ryan?
Well, I wouldn't know because I'm always proper. So,
Dad, I get that from her. She was emphatic about the proper usage of the English language. She had expectations, and around her at least, you met them. And then she drilled it into my dad, who drilled it into us. And those types of things mattered to her. She cared about the ability to speak properly, to have manners. And when she had that stroke and it took kind of that ability away from her to communicate, it was it was so frustrating for her. But one of the interesting things is when she had that stroke, her mind went back to using a few terms that were the Australian words for things and not the American words for things. Like, for instance, a cookie is a biscuit. And that's the one I remember the most. But it was, a couple of those things, it was easier for her to recall the Australian term. And I mean, she died, I think she was 79 when she died. And she came here when she was 18. She went back to Australia a few times. She stayed in contact with her brothers and sisters to whatever extent she could. But after her mind went through what it went through in the stroke, it went back to what she knew as a child. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Celebrate Veterans Day with us today on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat. I'm very excited about our next guest. Al Robertson is going to join us. You know him of Duck Dynasty and Duck Commander fame. He is a host of the Unashamed podcast. And you can find him online, alandlisarobertson.com. I had the greatest privilege to MC an event with the Vitae Foundation with them a few weeks ago in pursuit of life. And Al Robertson and Lisa Robertson, his beautiful wife, had a great message. And I think right now we need to get our messaging right, because the ultimate goal here is to protect the lives of the unborn. My opinion is conservatives have been treating it as a political issue for too long and losing. Wonder what Al Robertson has to think about it. He'll join us on the Annie Frey Show when we return.
And I feel you close like you want.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Mark Cox here, 97.1 FM Talk is shining a spotlight on our first responders. Listen to my show each day as we feature our heroes and raise awareness for responder rescue. Learn more about how you can give back at 971talk.com/events, sponsored by Budweiser.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we find our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and free.
Well, happy Veterans Day Eve. We are happy to salute and thank with, as I said earlier, almost speechless gratitude for the service that you have provided this country, to the Marine Corps. We're going to hit all five of the different divisions here throughout the course of the show. Come join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and say hi and tell us about the veteran you're saluting today. Our next guest up here is a new friend of mine, joined me at the Vitae Foundation event in St. Charles, and his name is Al Robertson, and I know y'all know him, and he's on the Annie Frey Show now. He's the host of the Unashamed podcast. He is one of the brothers from the Duck Dynasty crew. You can find more about him online at alandlisarobertson.com. Al, welcome to the Annie Frey Show. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you, Annie. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. We had a conversation at the Vitae event in St. Charles, and you and your wife did such a good job of advocating for life. But we were kind of talking a little bit about the politics behind abortion. We had an election this week, and a lot of people are asking right now about what the Republican Party needs to do in pursuit of the abortion issue. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about your advocacy for life. And you even talked a little bit at this event about how you had shifted in your ministry approaching this issue within your own church. So give us a little bit about why this is a heart issue for you and where you want people's hearts to be when they're advocating for life.
Yeah, and I thought you laid it out beautifully. It's very difficult when you're talking about moral issues in a political environment. And I know people say, well, it's all morality because it's trying to decide what's right and wrong. But really, that's not true. The idea going around right now that somehow, if you happen to be a Republican, because they've been more pro-life than anybody else, that somehow you can negotiate on life in terms of, you know, how we roll this out. We can deal. In other words, we can make a deal with the people on the other side, on the pro-death side, and we'll just find some happy place in the middle and we'll have a decision. But this isn't like we're building a bridge up in Missouri. You know, this is, you know, pro-life people take this very seriously in terms of how it affects their morality and looking forward. So I realize it is in a political environment, but you're not going to fix it with just some kind of reach across the aisle situation. And look, the other side is never going to stop wanting abortion on demand at any time up until birth. And a lot of people say, well, that's not true. People don't believe that, but they do, because we all know there are certain states that once they made that decision and could, that's what they did. So I agree. It's a tricky thing when you're talking about how do you navigate and thread the needle when you're trying to run an office. But when it comes to being on the right side of anything, and especially when it comes to life, you have to be there. It's kind of like what's going on with, you know, Hamas and Israel. It's pretty simple to those of us who look at this as just a straight up, you attack people and rape them, kill them. We don't see there any ambiguity. And I think it's the same with life. So, but you're right. This has been a huge issue across churches. The churches have ignored it for many, many years. As a pastor, I did as well. Of course, I was pro-life, but I didn't talk about it. I've been talking about it from my pulpit. I didn't treat women who were in trouble in our church or in our community with grace and love. That's another thing the Republicans have probably fell short in messaging was we have to be pro women. We have to be pro young men who are in these situations. We have to be pro life all the way from beginning conception all the way through a person's life. So I think those are the sort of things we have to talk about. How politicians figure they're going to do it. But if you think somehow that pro-lifers are going to just go to the negotiating table of life and death and say, yeah, we'll take a little death to deal with the other, that's never going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't really appease. I mean, I'm just completely and wholly pro-life. I believe that life begins at conception. I believe it's ordained by God when a life is created. And so if you're, like you said, going to the negotiating table to say a 15-week ban, I'm very happy that those other 25 weeks of babies are not going to be aborted, but it isn't fixing the problem. I'm wondering if you feel as though there's any moral disparity in a political party that says, you know what, this issue is left at the states. Let's let the states advocate for what the states want. And shifting away, I wish that the Conservative Party, and I'm not even going to say Republican Party, because I'll take anybody who believes in small government, would stop waiting for the red shirt to get the win and fix things, because it's not really a small government way of thinking about things. I mean, it's imperative on churches, like you were talking about, and other people who have this as their heart issue to get out and fix the problem so that culture downstream hits the politics and maybe changes hearts and minds that way.
Yeah, and I think appeasement is what's got us to where we are. I mean, obviously, and we talked about this the other night when we first met you. I mean, our culture and our country is in a serious position because they don't know a lot about God. They don't know a lot about morality. And that's what founded our nation. That was at the core of the beginning. And that's what's eroded. When you look at Ivy League campuses that used to be preaching schools, that's what they were. They trained pastors, they trained people to go out and preach the word of God. That was the beginning point for all of those institutions. Now, I realize things change over time, but look now what you see. And you see a complete loss of anything from the beginning. And so that type of morality and revival is the only thing that's going to change. And you're right, way less government and intrusion to begin with. And then you get to the hearts of people. We've decided on our podcast, we have moved upstream from most political discussion. We will talk about, of course, because you have to, it's every day. But we've decided we've got to go for the hearts of young men and young women who are making decisions, and they can make better decisions that build better families. And then, of course, the government will reflect that. The government's only a reflection of what our culture that's so rotten in so many places. And that's not everywhere. I mean, the length and breadth of our country is amazing. But we all know, especially on the coastal elites, you do run into these whole areas of people that is just vile, and many of them don't know anything about morality or God or anything else. So, of course, killing babies is nothing. It's just like murdering and raping people. All of a sudden, we've got to do a ceasefire. I mean, the whole morality concept is lost.
Yeah. We're speaking with Al Robertson. That podcast he's talking about, which you should subscribe to, is called The Unashamed Podcast. You know Al from the Duck Dynasty brothers that we've watched for years and years. You can learn more about it, alandlisarobertson.com. So, we're talking about the abortion issue, but I want to widen the lens a little bit here. You've been in ministry. The Duck Dynasty story has never been absent of a theological, I will say, culture, because it stuck out kind of like a sore thumb watching television and consuming things. It was just kind of make you stop and stare at your television and go, these people are sitting down holding hands praying before they eat their meal. And there's no shame in doing that. And your podcast is called The Unashamed Podcast. But I think when I'm looking at everything in the world, abortion to Hamas, to Israel, to culture, whatever it is, sometimes the only way to make any of it make sense is to remember where I begin, which is that good exists, but evil exists. And I'm wondering how you're seeing that play out right now in a lot of the main stories that really get caught up downstream in the net of politics that should be really looked at from a standpoint of evil that exists in the world.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to call that out and be very clear. And look, show clear pictures. I mean, people, in spite of whether they say they believe in God or believe in the Bible or any of that stuff, everybody faces the difficulties that life brings with it. And good and evil are right there every single day in every single family and every single decision. So it's mostly just about letting people know. And you're right, our family just seemed to pop out of nowhere, but it was reflective of multi-generational faith, running a small business without government assistance that began with an idea and hard work and expertise. And it's really, our family was a picture in a time when we needed to see it of really what America was founded on in terms of our cultural values and also who we really are. And faith was a big part of that. And you're right. We had a California production company, a New York corporation, and some rednecks in Louisiana who love God. It was quite the interesting Bermuda Triangle, but it worked because America saw it. And you're right, the little subtle things. It wasn't preachy at all, but it was evident there was something about these people. And now, of course, we're getting to tell exactly what that is with all our different platforms.
Yeah. And, I think that the thing that resonates, and it's ironic. I mean, I live a suburban life, but my husband and I both grew up in country lifestyles. And there is such a familiarity with your family that people can relate to. And it's odd because most families don't live like the Robertsons live and do the things that you do. But the familiarity there, I think, is the values. And I pair the evil and despair that is out there. There's a lot of people in our world right now who want to completely remake reality and put it in front of you and tell you to agree and shut up if you don't.
Yep.
They don't want to face what is real because it is hopeless and full of despair. Yep. And for whatever particular reason, the success of the Duck Commander brand and the Robertson family and Al and Lisa, your message as well, there's something very comfortable and cozy about the hope that comes from the message, the overlying message of what you've been able to put out. And I think that right now, in a world full of despair, we have to keep saying that message every chance that we can get.
I could not agree more. In fact, whether I'm speaking to an audience of a few thousand or like we were the other night, a few hundred, or I'm just sitting across the table at a diner, which I did 2 days ago here where I live, and talking to an individual person, it's always about individuals, individual choices, how I can make a better spiritual decision that's going to put me in a better position to lead my family to a better place. And that's what changes everything. And so we live that way every single day. We always have. We happen to wind up on television. That's great. God gave us an opportunity, but we're the same. We're the same before we ever were on television. We're still doing the same things today. And it's each individual heart, a heart of despair, as you described, in a difficult situation. Man, they've been duped. They've got evil in their lives, and we know the pathway out.
Before we let you go, one last question for you. We're speaking with Al Robertson, host of the Unashamed podcast with Duck Dynasty, Al and LisaRobertson.com. For the people right now who are reflecting on the election results on Tuesday and the issue of abortion, which is it's a single issue vote for many, many people. And I remind people, I live in Illinois, and it's horrific to think what the state of Illinois has done on the abortion issue. What kind of hope and encouragement do you want to give the person out there right now who's maybe been hoping and praying for a political solution to this that we're not finding? What do you say to those individuals?
The main thing is you just can't quit. I loved what I've seen nationally from a lot of organizations. You and I both have worked with groups. And look, I was disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I hated it. I mean, I know so many people in Ohio, and I'm just like, I know that so many of them, for whatever reason, didn't make the right choice. But you know what? The next day we still fight on and we battle on because nothing's changed. It's still wrong. It's still evil. We still know that. We still know what's important with life. So you just have to keep going. We never thought in our lifetime we'd see Roe v. Wade change, and it did. And so we just have to trust. And look, even when bad laws are made, when bad decisions are made, we have bad politicians, we're still the same. We are still consistent. You still reach out to your neighbor. You still find out somebody's in trouble, and you guide them to a better decision. And we just work it that way, whether it's one person at a time or hopefully eventually a whole culture changes. Don't change. Don't give up. You just keep fighting. the fight is worth it because we're right.
Well, more of that wonderful message on the Unashamed podcast. Encouragement to all my listeners out there to sign up and listen to more of what Al Robertson has to offer. Thank you for your time today. We lead into Veterans Day. We wanted to get some positivity out there, and we appreciate you coming on and talking to us.
Thank you, Annie. Give our best to your family.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, let's take a quick break. We are going to have Ryan Wiggins come in studio when we return. Wiggins America right around the corner. A great conversation. So honored to have Al Robertson on the show with us, the host of the Unashamed podcast. Al Robertson, the oldest brother of the Duck Dynasty crew, at Beardless Bro on Twitter. Go give him a hi and a hello and a thank you if you enjoyed hearing him here on the show. Grateful to have him. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Our flags unfurled to every breeze from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and right now, while interest rates have gone up and up, you still need to work to get yourself the best situation. That's where Stewie comes in. He wants to help you. People who are trying to make economic decisions right now, I know this as someone who just had to buy a car because the stupid deer totaled our car. You look at interest rates and you kind of have your jaw dropped open. You think, how am I going to get through this? Well, you go to Stewie. That's the number one thing when you're trying to secure a mortgage. Call him or text him at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And ask Stewie to help you with a bagel loan. You can talk to him about it. You can learn how the bagel loan is going to take away all of those closing costs that you normally have to pay. You don't have to do that when you work with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. This can save you thousands of dollars. It's a phone call or a text you can't afford not to make if you're looking to get a mortgage soon. He can also help with refinances. And yes, for you folks who are looking to consolidate and lower that interest rate on your credit card debt, he can help you there as well. Reach out to him, ask him for the details, and trust me on this, I'm a customer of his myself. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Hi. This is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join 97.1 FM Talk and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
There's a charity that's been going on for 36 years now. I don't know if you've heard about it. I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, you want to have a whole lot of fun, Guns and Hoses, they've been sponsoring boxing matches between the police and the fire department this is the 36th year. This is a charity event, and the funds that are raised go directly to the families of the first responders that have been murdered or hurt on the job. The funds are to help the families of our first responders. When I say help, it is to relieve them of the financial burdens. Because remember, the majority of first responders are just like us. They do not have hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings in case of an event that they're no longer able to work. That's Guns and Hoses. It's happening Thanksgiving Eve. It's a fun time. Let's help our families out. God bless.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
A natural gas leak can be found almost anywhere, even if you're out for an evening stroll in the neighborhood. An important safety tip from Mango, the Missouri Association of Natural Gas Operators. If you smell gas, act fast. Leave the area, go upwind, and from a safe location, call 911.
We really want to hear from you on the poll today. The question is, are you or do you love a veteran? The options, I'm going to read these slow just in case. I am a veteran. I salute a veteran. And by the way, give us your comments on those two. The last one is, I'm a communist. The Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll. Let us know which one of those you are, because you got to be one of them, right? 1246. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
St. Louis's destination for questioning the narrative.
Your home for conservative talk.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Got cut from the military. You should see him march.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Day one, they're like, march. And I was like, okay.
That's a bit of a waddle.
And he was like, they're like, nope.
Yeah.
You look like somebody in one of those inflatable costumes trying to walk.
I actually, what came to mind for me was somebody who had one of those exercise balls between their legs, trying to march with one. That's how bad I look.
Helping birthing too.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever give birth on one of those?
Not on it, but I used it to get there. It opens things up. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Used it to get there. Because I pictured you driving down the highway, getting to the hospital on that thing.
No, it's bouncing the whole way.
Bouncing the whole way. You know what? Speaking of grandma memories, my grandma used to have... Hang on.
What a roller coaster ride.
Speaking of grandma memories.
My grandma used to have, when I was little, 2 little, they were exercise balls, but they had horse heads on them. And they were inflatable, and I've never seen them anywhere else the rest of my entire life.
Not even in your nightmares?
No. You could bounce on these things like you were riding a horse, but they were bounceable. They were awesome. When I was 5, it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
It's time for the candle.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact that you just got here.
Yeah.
Actually, it has a little to do with the fact that you just got here because you opened the door.
I did.
We have a scent problem.
This is a light a match problem, and it has nothing to do with me. I want to be clear.
No, it has to do with new laws. Making things legal that offend everybody.
Let's change the Constitution.
Okay. The be or not the be?
The be or not the be.
Oh, this is me.
Yeah. I mean, I can just keep talking if you want, but...
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should keep talking a little bit, but...
The bee or not the bee.
On point.
Excellent, guys.
Let's
there we go.
It's our finest yet.
It's very, very good. All right, these are stories from either the Babylon Bee or the mainstream news. I will read the headlines to you. You got to tell me whether you think they are real or fake. They are bee or not the bee. All right, the first one is Gavin Newsom quickly bans high-capacity assault high heels.
That's the V.
Yeah.
That's the V, and I saw that.
That
right?
is the V. That's the V for sure. This new ban on, there we go. This new ban, you guys are nailing it. The ban on high-capacity assault high heels comes in response to GOP primary candidate Nikki Haley's bold and not weird at all claim that her high heels were, quote, not for a fashion statement, they're for ammunition.
There's so many women who are like, where do I get these heels?
That's a real quote, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not a Babylon Bee made-up quote. That was her real quote.
Yeah, I was listening to that quote when she said it live, and I was like, ooh, that's a good comeback. What?
Yeah, exactly. Because
She's
at
like,
first you go, oh, yeah, wait,
here
what?
we go. What? And then, yeah.
Can I just say, I think people are dwelling on it too much, though.
Sure, absolutely.
I think I understand what she was saying. It wasn't the best way to say it.
What was she saying then?
That it's like it's her secret weapon.
Is that she's a woman? Is that like the roundabout way of saying that?
No.
Her heels are.
It's important to remember that Vivek Ramaswamy is the one who brought heels up. Nikki Haley didn't walk on the stage and say, I'm going to win this because I'm a woman wearing heels. Vivek is the one who said, let's crawl onto the floor and get down to this level, where her 3-inch heels were. Never, if you're going to criticize a woman's heels, and men, you should understand this, underestimate the size.
I still don't know what it meant. We never got there.
Read the quote again.
Okay. Not for a fashion statement, they're for ammunition. Her heels.
It's just, she's just saying she doesn't wear her heels as a fashion statement, that they are a secret weapon for her. She's doing this in heels. I would like to see any of those men attempt. And if you come at me with your stupid Ron DeSantis comments right now, I'll block you. I'll block you, Ryan. I'll block you, Brad. I'll block you, Leah. You're not even in the studio right now. I'll go find anybody and block them. Just back off. The sentence I was going to say is I'd like to see anybody go up there and do that debate for that amount of time wearing 5-inch heels.
I would do it.
I am ready to incentivize
The
it.
B continues.
You do this show in heels. You stand in here for 3 hours and do a show in heels.
You're suggesting that I do that because for a second I was thinking you're saying that is what I do, which is not true.
Yeah, they're called lifts.
I can go either way with this. I'm just kind of weighing my options.
They've got goldfish in them.
No, I'm saying I would challenge you to see who could last longer. I know Brad's not going to do it.
No.
No, and I'm not going to do it unless there's a competition because I am very competitive.
Which is why I threw Brad in there.
The B continues, quote, any high heel over 3 inches that can carry more than one bump stock in its magazine chamber is hereby banned in the good state of California forthwith and with forth. So be it.
And forthwith.
That might be my favorite line of the whole article.
Anybody watch Blue Bloods?
No, I know the show.
They say forthwith all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah, I'm like, nobody says that.
That's not a word.
But I've never been in the NYPD. So
all
maybe
right.
they do.
Next story. Headline is the U.S. Census Bureau, excuse me, wants to start asking your kids about their current gender.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I bet that's real.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Annie on this one.
It is real.
You know what? When my kids go to their pediatrician appointments, they give them this survey to fill out, and I don't like it. But I watch them fill out the whole thing. There are questions that I always have to remember that not every child is being raised in the nucleus of a home that I have. But there are questions that allude to these things. And if you're not paying attention, it's happening all over the place.
All over. Yeah, this isn't some corner of the internet. This literally is the U.S. Census Bureau. U.S. Senators Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance sent a letter to the U.S. Census Bureau Director Robert Santos calling on him to rescind its plan to incorporate a gender identity.
Who?
U.S. Census Bureau Director Robert Santos.
It's
Marco
George
Rubio.
Santos.
Yeah.
He's like, and I'm in charge of the census too. And they're like, okay.
They sent him letters and they tricked you. They're not going anywhere.
You're saying there's 2 Santoses?
There are 2 Santoses, and this one sounds a little bit more like a Democrat. These questions apparently were going to appear, but the revised survey would ask about both a respondent's sex assigned at birth as well as his or her current gender. Americans as young as 15 would receive these questions. Here's where it gets crazy, but don't worry, the Bureau is taking big, important steps in light of some pushback to make sure that they properly word this question. So they're not backing away from the question, but they want to get it right. So in the fiscal 2023 budget request to Congress, the Census Bureau requested $10 million to study how best to word this question.
Oh my gosh.
I kid you not. $10 million to ask your kids if they're pangender. There you go. That's a real story. All right, next one. Republican Party checks into rehab for addiction to losing.
Do you remember how much it costs? Hold on a second.
'Kay.
Pause. Do you remember? Can we get an extra couple minutes here, maybe?
Yep.
Do you remember how much it cost to create the Obamacare website?
Oh, wasn't it in the hundreds of millions?
Give me a number. What would be absurd to you?
250 million?
I thought it was 500 million.
$2 billion.
Oh my
Billion.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's right.
Every time I go research that, because I'm like, I know it's absurd. Every time I see it, I'm more shocked than the last time.
Well, you remember when it came out how bad it was too? It was terrible.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. I don't even know how it does these days. You don't hear about it as much, which means it probably works finally. But that was probably after another $2 billion to make it work.
Anyway,
$2 billion was just to
sorry
get it
about that. I just wanted to add to the stupid amount of investment into that question.
Yeah. I'm going to skip ahead since I read that headline. You already know
What
it's
was
fake.
it again?
Republican Party checks into rehab for addiction to losing.
Oh. That could be a real story about a Vivek Ramaswamy clip.
New Grand Theft Auto game will have unlockable Soros DA mode where all crime is legal.
That's got to be. Is that the B? That has to be the B.
It's the B. It's the B. While rumors abound and much of the details about the new game remain shrouded in secrecy, developers have confirmed that there will be a more realistic mode in which George Soros-backed district attorneys don't prosecute lawbreakers, essentially rendering all the simulated crimes legal in the game. Early development footage of GTA 12 or whatever in its pre-alpha state show the main character going on a killing spree, selling fentanyl to school kids and carjacking high-end luxury vehicles in front of a uniformed police officer who shouts, "Hey man, maybe that's not a good idea." As the released early game footage shows, the officer is then himself arrested for misgendering the player character. You're right. That is the B.
You got any more?
One last one real quick. Man extremely proud he hasn't even sinned today. Oh, wait, never mind. There it is.
In the same hour, we have Al Robertson.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you get to hear that interview?
I heard the end of it, which I loved. I kind of want to go back and hear the rest of it now.
Yeah. Well, you can. If you subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast, go subscribe there to ours and subscribe to his and at the Unashamed podcast. Really great to talk to him. Love him. His wife had such an amazing story to tell as well at the Vitae Foundation event. All right, let's stick around. We're going to visit with our friend, Representative Kevin Schmidt, King of Illinois, when we come back.
Mark Cox here. I've got an idea. Let's all go to Italy next spring. I'm going to the Amalfi Coast next spring with my friends of conservativetours.com, and you can go along as well. We'll cover Rome, the Amalfi Coast, Puglia, the Isle of Capri, the Abbey of Monte Cassino. It may be one of Italy's best-kept secrets. You know, I've been to the Amalfi Coast before. It is without a doubt one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. While you're there, you can take a high-speed jet foil over to the Isle of Capri, which is a site that everyone needs to see. Positano is absolutely beautiful. Sorrento is just gorgeous. You'll get to visit the ruins of Pompeii as one of your side trips if you go on this trip. It's $53.67 a person. That includes your airfare from St. Louis. Call them toll free at 888-733-9494. It's 888-733-9494 or conservativetours.com.
Gateway ENT, you find your next ENT, the one you've been searching for. Maybe you haven't even thought that one of those concerns that you have sinus pressure that won't alleviate, causing headaches, difficulty breathing. You kind of feel like it's that time of year. Maybe you can get it rectified. Maybe you can get help, or maybe you can get some of the pain alleviated. Go see one of the ENTs at Gateway ENT. They're taking new patients right now. My husband himself went to go see Dr. Hardiman. He's one of a team of incredible ENTs there at Gateway ENT. You can call to make an appointment by reaching out to 314-843-3828. That's 314-843-3828. Or you can find them online at gatewaydrs.com. That's gatewaydoctors.com. They are private practice ear, nose, and throat group. They have multiple convenient locations in the metropolitan area in West County, Sunset Hills, and Festus. They're easy to get to and easy to get into. 314-843-3828. Call them today. Find them online at gatewaydrs.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Evacuations suspended. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the report just breaking on efforts to get more foreign passport holders out of Gaza and into Egypt. Egyptian security sources and a Palestinian official telling Reuters problems with medical evacuees have led to a suspension. Palestinians needing urgent medical treatment have been among those allowed out through the Rafah crossing. Meantime, Palestinians who've been sheltering in hospitals are fleeing towards southern Gaza because of fighting around hospitals, where the Israeli military says Hamas fighters are inside with civilian patients.
We were on a call tonight with an Israeli military spokesman who said the Israelis understand how complicated this is and they are engaging in the rules of war. But this is critical to think about here because you still have thousands of Palestinians in the northern part of the Strip and they are caught amid the crossfire.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. Top Justice Department officials are discussing possible hate crime designations after deadly incidents amid high tensions and protests in the U.S. over the fighting in Gaza.
Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray met with both Jewish and Muslim leaders this week to hear concerns after multiple violent incidents across the country.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. The DOJ has already opened a hate crime probe over the stabbing death of a 6-year-old Palestinian-American boy in Illinois last month. The family's landlord already facing state charges in that case. Talks also underway on possibly designating the death of 69-year-old Paul Kessler as a hate crime. The Jewish counter-protester died after falling and hitting his head at a pro-Palestinian rally where witnesses say he had been hit with a megaphone. Sheriff's officials investigating in California say at this point there's conflicting information and not enough evidence for criminal charges. President Biden says union auto workers own this victory in a social media post after non-union Honda announced pay raises for U.S. factory workers on the heels of UAW deals with Detroit's Big Three. America is listening to Fox News.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
No question we are back to that November feel. Sunny skies this afternoon. About 62 should do it for the high. Tonight, clear skies. We will drop into and through the 50s. And it's cold overnight, 32. Saturday, obviously a cold start. Sunshine, pretty close to 60 for the high Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, partly cloudy and 35. Sunday, sunny and 62. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
How would you like to make no mortgage payments until next year? Are you tired of making minimum payments on high-interest credit cards? Is student loan repayment giving you the blues? Your home equity is at an all-time high. Use that equity to save hundreds every month. Call 314-567-GOLD now and give yourself a payment break. That's 314-567-GOLD. Or visit goldenoaklending.com. NMLS 114937.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Brian Kilmeade is coming back to St. Louis with his new book. Join us Friday, December 1st for an evening of drinks, dinner, and discussion at Brookdale Farms. Start your holiday season in style. Get tickets at 971talk.com/events.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy that you're here with us today. It's a beautiful day outside, and we're looking forward to a great Veterans Day weekend. We, the show, will be participating in the Edwardsville Veterans Day Parade. It's going to be tomorrow down Edwardsville's Main Street at 3 p.m., and I would personally like to invite all of you to come out and support us. It's a beautiful area, very simple to go out and enjoy a great parade for a great cause. You could do a little shopping, get some lunch beforehand, and just enjoy the atmosphere with people while we are grateful for and show our gratitude for veterans of this country who have served and given that great sacrifice of their time, and the people who are around them who have done the same thing as well. Real quick, I want to get on our next guest here. Illinois State Representative Kevin Schmidt joins us. He represents Illinois District 114, and you can learn more about him at repschmidt.com. Kevin, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Of course. In light of what Veterans Day today, You, serving as a Republican representative from Illinois District 114, you have quite a diverse district there, and I know that you have a lot of veterans that you represent in Springfield. You've got an initiative right now working on trying to show some gratitude back to those veterans in your district and across the state of Illinois. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's House Bill 4128, and I thought of it as just a common sense bill to give veterans a paid day leave off on Veterans Day. So that's a pretty simple bill. If they, prove to their employer that they are indeed a veteran, they get that day off paid.
So what kind of support are you getting? Bipartisan support right now for this bill? How's the progress?
I've got the veterans on board, of course, and it was recently filed, so I haven't. In the spring session coming up here, I'll try and get some co-sponsors on it from the other side of the aisle. But I would think that a bill like this would go through. I hope.
Yeah.
If the speaker calls it. We all know that the speaker has complete control over what's called or not. We found that out yesterday with the Invest in Kids Act bill.
So we're speaking with Illinois State Representative Kevin Schmidt of District 114 over there in the state of Illinois. Talk to me about what it's been like. This is your first time in office. You're going to, I assume you're running again for the seat.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's well on its way. I've heard many, many good things about your willingness to show up, to be present, to be active within your district. And you are maybe the one person who flipped a seat in the state of Illinois the last time?
Yes, I was. There's 118 seats. I was the only Republican to flip a seat in the last cycle. It was a pretty rough cycle. We lost a lot of Republicans, and now we're even weaker in Springfield.
So talk to me about what it was coming out of that. You said it was a rough cycle. I mean, if you're looking at the results from this week in Ohio and Virginia and Kentucky, I think that people right now are questioning the motivation out there maybe for Republican voters to go and actually cast a vote. But as we move, or within a year of Election Day of next year, if people in Illinois are very disenchanted with the system, a lot of people feel as though winning can't be done. But you've proven beating LaToya Greenwood was like earth shattering for the people in the state legislature. You are able to do it. What kind of support and help do you need to win again? And what kind of encouragement would you give to Illinois voters right now to get involved, to be a part of a successful process?
Well, I think support would be manpower. I always need more volunteers. I'm not a big fundraising money type guy. I think I'll just outwork them just like before. So, but fundraising is always good. As far as encouragement, I think we need to focus on blue-collar districts. I think the white-collar Republican is somewhat a thing of the past, and hardworking families. My district is very blue-collar. The districts that we lost weren't necessarily like that. They're up in the suburbs. If you look at the polling and you look at where the Republican Party can make gains, it's with working class people, kitchen table items, inflation, things of that nature. The recent losses we had in the other states, I think those were a lot of Democrat activists coming out to vote. I think in the general election, we're going to get a lot of just everyday people, independents coming out, and I think they will swing Republican because the Democrats have become extremist.
Yeah. One of the things that I remember, especially from your race in the last cycle, was we were tipped off to this and we talked about it on the air. And I think that it ended up becoming a bigger thing than maybe it should have just stayed on social media. But when you were challenging LaToya Greenwood, who was a fixture in that district, and I think probably in the General Assembly as well, she was running ads on Facebook, paid ads against you, saying that you had taken votes. I think it was you voted against Social Security or something of that nature.
It was related to the budget. And of course, I had not voted on the budget yet, but that's their game plan. They attack every Republican that votes no on the budget, and then they cherry pick things out of the budget that are good things and say you voted no on that. And, they leave out the part that was a single vote on a completely imbalanced budget. But
the one
in
I was talking
the case
about
before, I hadn't even voted yet. So they
because
just
you were a
cookie cutter it.
chiropractor. You weren't in you were not in the legislature. And she was targeting and paying ads to be served on Facebook saying you were taking votes against things, and you were working as a chiropractor. Was it in Shiloh or Belleville where you're
Millstadt. I'm a Millstadt, yeah.
It's like, how did they get away with this? It was enraging to know that they were so willing to just blatantly lie.
Yeah, it was laziness. It was cookie cutter ads from up north that they just ran down here as well. So it's the same game plan every election cycle. They go after the budget, and as we all know, that was a horrible budget. So every Republican voted no, plus 3 Democrat senators this cycle voted no on it. So we had bipartisan opposition, but not bipartisan support of that budget.
Well, we're going to be watching your race, and we want to be as helpful as we can to you, Kevin Schmidt, as possible. Thank you for advocating for the veterans in your district and across the state. And thanks for coming on the show with us today. It's good to have you.
Thank you. You have a good weekend.
Yeah, you as well. We appreciate you. His name's Kevin Schmidt. He is the current Illinois State Representative in District 114. Learn about him at Rep. Schmidt. That's SCHMIDT.com. That was one of the wildest stories.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I think partially because they were using footage from our show to run ads against him. And I got to say, though, if they ever do convert this country to a monarchy, he would be a good king.
Yeah. We wanted to get him a Burger King crown.
No, did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
King of Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of went on a rant on that. I decided I was going to dive headfirst into it and just about how deceitful the system is. And because I get sent things on different platforms all the time. And some of the things I get sent, I'm like, that's not accurate. Because not everything on the internet is true.
What?
Like LaToya Greenwood's ads. I got that sent to me, and I'm like, this is so obnoxiously wrong. This can't be real. And I wrote back, and I said, is this ad being served from LaToya Greenwood's account, or did you just see it out there? And they're like, no, she's running these ads. Well, you can go to her page, and you can look on Facebook, and it'll say this page is running ads, and then you can see the ads they're running. Sure as sugar. There it sits. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Let me at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
And then he was the one.
The one.
That pulled it over the finish line. And he's such a hard worker. He is working his tail off against all odds in the 114th. This is a district that counts votes from East St. Louis. Am I right?
Yes.
He must have won by a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He must have kicked some serious butt. Maybe they are in favor of him as being king. I would vote for him for king over J.B. Pritzker, who just assumed the role.
Yeah, indeed. I remember driving, so I'm not in his district, but I remember driving through O'Fallon, actually, and seeing near the park there a whole lot of signs. I don't know who was supporting him there, but man, his signs were everywhere around O'Fallon
And they were
Park.
orange, I think.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he does. His shirts are orange. You know, the other day, I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago, Terry and I went out to eat and walked right, like him and his wife were out canvassing, collecting signatures, and ran into him at the restaurant. We're like, oh, let's do this.
Yeah.
And so I signed his form and, got a picture with him and all that other fun stuff. So man works hard. He works real hard.
Must be a masochist to be so involved in Illinois Republican politics.
That's what it takes, though. That's what it's going to take.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah. There's so many people, I'm sure you know this too, both of you. There's so many people doing the ground game right now who they're looking up at the state and they're going, do I have a chance here? Like they have the passion, but I don't know that they have the will or the backing, not even financially, but just people behind them to encourage them to say, just do it. Just go for it. Yeah, I want to see those people because I know some of those people myself.
here's the struggle in the state of Illinois. You get in a primary, and you don't want to compromise your conservative values in a primary. But especially when we're talking about statewide races, which we're not going to be, sadly, in 2024. I do think that we have to factor at the top of the list electability. It has to be the number one concern. And I can't stress this enough. Electability might mean that somebody who you really like and is a really great person might not qualify for the most electable. The person has to be electable. And in the state of Illinois, that looks very different than what it looks like in Missouri or nationally. I don't think that Republicans in primaries, much to the joy of Illinois Democrats, Republicans in primaries are like, this cobalt blue state sucks and we need to bring real conservative values to Springfield, and we're going to send the most conservative person we can to the governor's mansion or whatever it might be. And it doesn't work. And it's the same conversation as the abortion conversation we've been having all week. If you keep bashing your head into the wall over and over and over again with the same plan, and all you do is get a headache and the wall stands strong, you have to do something else. And it feels kind of gross to be like, we need to stop fighting to make abortion illegal.
Yeah, there needs to be some clarification there, because I think what I want to clarify, at least with my position on, yes, I think we should change strategies, is just that. It's not as if you're saying, oh, well, you know what, maybe we should compromise and start thinking that abortion's okay. No, it's still babies that are being killed. The whole point is, how do we strategically have less babies being killed? Let's adjust our strategy to make that happen. That's all this conversation is.
Right. It's like changing the type of offense you're running in football.
Yes.
You know, maybe you're trying to throw the 99-yard Hail Mary touchdown pass every time, and that thing doesn't have a lot of success. Maybe you should turn to looking maybe at a good ground game, running game, 5 yards in a cloud of dust, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and just keep pounding away at that way, making little incremental gains until you shift the field. Like, it's almost like people don't realize how far Illinois is left, that you've got to chip away at that. And some of those positions you're going to have to take to win in Illinois are going to be light blue positions, but light blue is better than cobalt blue. And you just start working it back.
And the state of Illinois is not as left as its representation.
That's
it
correct.
Isn't.
That's correct.
The Republicans don't offer palatable alternatives.
Well, you're fighting though with people right now, and you may have already said this, but people who they say, oh, a 15-week abortion ban, that's extreme. You know, I mean, you're trying to compromise with people who will not compromise. So you have to come up with just different strategies than saying, well, how about if we do a this week or this week?
When you ask people like what week would be that are super pro-abortion, they won't give you a week.
No, they won't.
And then you say, why would you want an abortion to be, how can you stomach an abortion at 9 months? Their response is, people don't do that. They never engage in the conversation because they don't have to.
Right.
Like, that is the key to this. They don't have to. The more vague the conversation is, the more your heart and your emotions are the only thing that matter. And if you're thinking about a time where you were scared and you made a decision and maybe you have a sense of regret or guilt or shame, or maybe none of that, maybe you just kind of tilt your head to the side and start to question it a little bit. And you don't want to go there. You don't want to be there. Or maybe you got somebody pregnant, or you think you might have gotten somebody pregnant, or maybe you got someone pregnant and didn't have a say in it, and they had an abortion, and it just rips you up inside. I mean, all of these things are real reality existences for people every single day. They don't want to have the conversation. And as soon as the Democrats step in and put parameters around it, then there's something to actually discuss. They don't have to put parameters. Nobody is making them put parameters around it, because a Republican who's pushing back against a Democrat, they don't have to define anything there. It has to be defined in the minds of the public. And we don't do that. Nobody puts pressure on the Democrats to do that. And they're not going to. It's not going to change, which again is why we will lose everything at the ballot box trying to win this particular issue. We will not win at the ballot box on this issue, which means we must win somewhere else. Simple as that. Ask me anything when we come back.
Let's do it.
Get in the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and you can say hi and hello to us and leave a salute to a veteran. Our YouTube live chat poll is, are you or do you love a veteran? You have 3 options. I am a veteran. I salute a veteran. We want you to leave your comments there. Or your third option, if those two don't fit, is I'm a communist. And we invite you to leave your thoughts in the chat there. We want to salute Tina, who is joining us on YouTube. She says, I am a veteran. Gary, we thank you. I am a veteran. See you at the parade tomorrow. Awesome. Gary, we can't wait for you to be there in Edwardsville at 3 o'clock. Mark, our friend Mark, I am a 4th generation vet. OEF dad was Navy, Vietnam, both grandfathers, United States Marine Corps, one in the South Pacific in World War II and another in Korea. Lots to be grateful for right there. We are indebted to you all. Thank you for serving. And thank you for leaving us a comment so we could recognize you. Keep them coming. Annie Frey YouTube channel. Ask us anything in the comments as well. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So STS-armory.com, STS-armory.com. Go on to their website right now and see all of the amazing classes that they have available for you. An amazing, wonderful opportunity for Christmas gifts right now. Go join and see what they can help you with by visiting their website, learning about their ladies-only classes, their pepper spray classes. They have classes for kids and teens that teach them firearm safety and education. They also have instructor level and advanced classes. When you are thinking about learning how to carry your weapon and being comfortable with carrying your weapon, and of course in the state of Illinois you have to get that conceal and carry license, STS Armory will walk you through the whole process and help you get to that point where you get that license or registration. You can call them at 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS. They're located in Pontoon Beach, and stop by and tell them hello. You will be so glad to have people who you trust, like the people who we trust when it comes to owning guns and ammo, accessories, and safety items. We get everything in the Frey household from STS Armory. Check them out this holiday season online at sts-armory.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour tax lien code masterclass right here in St. Louis, text EARN to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text EARN to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text EARN to 26022.
Feels good to be home. Our local Ashley store has the biggest and best Black Friday furniture and mattress deals going on right now. Literally everything is on sale throughout the store, including up to 75% off designer-picked holiday hot buys. Plus, you can shop confidently because Ashley's price match guarantee ensures you'll get the best price. So if you're looking for trend-forward styles at unbelievable Black Friday prices, shop your local Ashley store today, only at Ashley.
The leaves are changing. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. And you know what that means? It's time to start making your list and checking it twice. Pro tip, if you're planning to propose this holiday season, it's time to design the perfect ring now. Every Diamonds Direct engagement ring is handcrafted to perfection, which takes time. So don't wait. Start designing your dream ring today. Our experts will make you feel at ease as they educate and guide you to create that one-of-a-kind ring you're envisioning. Our industry-leading warranties will give you total confidence. And as always, our nationwide price guarantee will ensure you get the very best value. Plus, Diamonds Direct has a gift even Santa can't beat. Buy any natural diamond at Diamonds Direct and get a 14-karat gold solitaire setting free. Beat the rush, shop in November, and make this holiday season one to remember. Diamonds Direct at Olive and 270, official partner of the St. Louis Blues and proud to call the Gateway City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is here. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when cold weather arrives. Get in your comfort zone with the heating system check. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
We're going to take you into the weekend with a Reardon Roundtable. Jane Duker, State Rep Steve Butts, St. Charles County Councilman Mike Elam. Join us starting at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
You have to ask me nicely.
Don't make me beg here. Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth!
So it's this part of the show where we take questions from y'all. And you can ask us anything. You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and drop your comments or questions there, and we might feature some. Do you have any?
No, that was just a great intro. This is this part of the show where we do the thing. I loved it.
Go ahead, Annie.
Brad just turned him off. Yeah. Of all of the
Hey,
things,
you did turn me off.
Of all of the things that I've done on this show that have been subpar, I didn't expect you to publicly criticize me on that one, but I do appreciate it.
I got to grab that. You know, it happens so infrequently. I got to
All right,
grab
you take it from here. Go on.
All right.
You do better.
Here is a question from Colonel Ripper. He or she says, here's my
think
question.
There's a woman out there who chose Colonel Ripper.
Yeah,
for
I don't know. I
internet
mean,
name?
maybe.
Leah,
Colonel
is there
Ripper.
a woman out there who's naming herself Colonel Ripper on the internet? We'll allow Leah to talk.
There.
Thank you. No, I doubt it.
Man, gender this person.
Okay. Colonel Ripper says, if you are in a left or right turn only lane, do you still need to signal?
Obviously. Maybe it is a woman.
And that was a great segment, guys. Let's wrap it.
I had to say it before they did. It's funnier if I say it. It's meaner if they do.
I'm going to say that in a right turn only lane, not really.
Yes, you do. If you're turning your car, you signal.
In a right turn only? I don't know.
Legally speaking, you are always to use your turn signals.
I get it.
Lane change. Doesn't matter if you're in an only turn lane.
Turn your signal on before you start moving in the direction to turn. You cannot turn your signal on mid-turn or lane shift and qualify.
It's an indicator.
And also, and another thing, do not, if there is a 2-lane, I guess it'd be a 4-lane road with a turn lane in the middle, and you're going down 2 lanes, and there's a turn lane in the middle, and you're going to turn left, so you're going to cross traffic, you're going to enter the turn lane. Do not brake all the way before you've gotten into the turn lane.
Yes, please. Yes. Preach.
No,
Preach.
The turn lane is for your slowdown. And when you brake, you put your hands in the air and wave them around.
Like we just don't care.
Like you're a psychopath like me when you're driving down a 4-lane road and someone's in the left side of the right lanes and they brake to almost to a stop and then they turn their blinker on. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, the only time that's acceptable is when the left turn lane is already really crowded. And it's because if it's not, it's just a wide open lane for you to slow down in. But if you got to get over real quick and then slow down, I get that.
Yeah, and if you're in the country and it's 2 lanes and you got to turn left, you use that country turn lane. It's not legal, but do it.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree that you do need to use the left turn signal in the left turn lane because a lot of times you see people pull into the lane when they're trying to merge back into traffic. They're not actually turning left. So just because you see somebody in that lane, not that that's the proper usage, but you do see it. If you see somebody in the lane, you need to know that they are actually turning left.
The only time you don't need to use your signal if you're turning your car is if the road bends right and you're following the road. If you're moving onto a different road, if you're turning, if you're shifting lanes, signal. Next.
I live on a road like that.
Next.
I got one here from Betsy. Betsy's was sent real early in the show when you were talking about your grandma and your grandpa, and she wants to know, how did they meet?
My Australian grandma and grandpa, Australian grandma and my very American grandpa met. We just confirmed this over the break with my mother on the phone. They actually met at a dance in Australia when my grandpa was stationed. We believe it was in Brisbane, and my grandmother, they met at a dance before she had signed up to serve in whatever the women's military thing was for Australia. They met there, and then my mom was telling me, and I remember this story, that they decided to get married. Didn't she say months later? I don't know. Months later, and she had to drive 90 miles to go get, what did she say? It was like Tallulah or Tawanda or something like that in Australia to get a wedding dress. And all the people who she worked with pooled their money together to help her get to that place and back so she could get a wedding dress, because my grandmother firmly said she would not be getting married in her military uniform, which, as I said, my grandma might have a little bit of that sternness that I inherited over the course of a couple generations. Or stubbornness. Next.
Next comes from Quick Rick. Says, Annie, are you having venison for dinner?
No, absolutely not. But my husband has it basically when he's awake. He's so happy about it. My son loves it too. We're talking about the deer that my husband hit on a couple weeks ago.
And then butchered.
And then butchered. Yes, he did. Turn it into sausage links, and they have confirmed that it is delicious. Maybe I should bring some in here. You guys would eat it, wouldn't you?
Heck yeah.
Would you eat? Do you eat venison, Leah?
I would.
Deer sausage and some cheddar?
I don't seek it out, but I would eat it.
Neither did my husband, but there it was.
Yeah.
Him. Yeah. He's like, the deer was like, you guys need a Jeep, don't you? They're in it, by the way.
I was going to say, so the next question is from Balls. He wants to know, have you figured out what car/SUV you want yet?
Cassins has been amazing. We actually took the vehicle to get fixed at Cassins because they do that repair stuff there, and our rental was from Cassins. It's where we bought our Pacifica from, and it's not like the best time to be buying a used car, but I can't speak highly enough for the service and the help that they gave us, and we got ourselves a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they got that today while I was here. Have fun, guys. I hope you're enjoying that. I'm here at work, just sitting here with Ryan Wiggins.
The envy of nations.
Nations.
Oh my gosh, he was ready for that.
Ryan Wiggins, the envy of nations. Is that like
you know what?
national
If you
guys
had that much, if I had as much venison as you had right now, I don't blame Jared one bit for just seeking it out at every turn. I would sleep with it on my pillow.
He's real angry
so
when
that
he's
I
eating
could
it.
turn as I flipped in the night and be like, oh, there you are again.
So glad you said on my pillow.
The envy of nations. This one comes from Bobo Farms.
Let's move on.
What's the best part of Chex Mix?
I hate Chex Mix. Who likes Chex Mix?
I like Chex Mix. I like the, they're not rye chips. They're just like
Gardetto
little
chips.
Gardetto-y chips.
Are
Yeah.
the bagels?
Yeah,
Is
those
that what they
things.
call them?
That's my favorite part.
I was going to say that's my favorite part as well.
Mm-hmm. Why don't they just make those?
Big fan of bread.
They do.
They do.
Just the bagel chips in a bag all by themselves?
Yeah.
You don't have to sift through them? Where the heck has that been in my life?
You look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
At the convenience store on the other side of the expired gummy bears.
Yeah, they're probably right up the street from me. I'm going to sleep with those on my pillow so I can roll over and just gnaw on 'em.
Crackers and sausage. Go on.
I thought we were going back and forth.
I was going to say, I've got a question here, and this one's mine. So in this current political climate, we're setting it up. You are sworn in January of 2025.
Envy of Nations.
The Envy of Nations. As president, what is the very first thing that you do as president, in your capacity as president?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm throwing a banger with tons of meat and cheese
And Hunter Biden.
crackers.
Oh,
and,
crack.
yeah.
And bagel
And
chips?
Crackers. You're like, I said crackers. I said Ritz.
Yeah. We're going all out. I am having full charcuterie, and I am inviting all my friends to the White House.
Anything policy-based or just raves?
Mostly raves. And yeah, it'd be nighttime. I'm picturing like a lot of really deep bass music and glow sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting up the White House.
Yep. Policy-wise, we would open up American Energy after the rave.
Immediate closing down of the southern border. I don't know what I would call Jim Carafano.
Yeah.
And I would say, what do I do?
Yeah, how do I turn this off?
And I would immediately make the most significant statement I could that status quo has dramatically changed. Because I don't think that you can do anything else. I mean, like 5 minutes later, probably energy. But the first thing I would do is say, you see these borders here? This is where we start and you stop, and it will be that way, and we will fix all of the problems that are downstream after that. But the border, I think, is the biggest issue that I would address.
That's really good. I'm kind of with Ryan, but one
On
other
the
thing.
rave?
No, not the rave, just the American energy part. But the other
Average base.
The other thing that I would do is I would launch a huge initiative to destigmatize nuclear energy.
Ooh, I love that. You're invited to my rave.
So I think that it's got this
A rave on nuclear energy? How could that go wrong?
It's gonna glow.
Yeah,
That's the
I
idea.
don't. Yeah, why is everything glowing?
Because Brad's here.
This looks like something off of a political sitcom. We thought it'd be a good idea. Did you let the interns plan this? You said you wanted a party.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to reach the younger people.
Goal number one, have a whole bunch of influencers join my team. That's actually what Biden did.
Got another question?
Does Leah get to rule the free world?
Yes. Leah.
I was going to say, I don't know what I do, but I would like to go to your party.
Score. Leah's there.
Sorry.
Brad's there.
Leah's first act is Ryan is the party czar.
Yeah.
Can you start making commercials, advertisements for you to be the party czar?
Yeah.
I think you
I'll
have to
dance
do
around
it.
like Chris Pontius.
I don't want to really put this off any longer because we have an ad for Hulk Hogan for the West Virginia Senate seat.
Remember the pretend Hulk Hogan who promised to fight for West Virginia? He's not pretending anymore. He's still a pretend Hulk Hogan, but this time he's stepping into the ring of politics for real. With a pretend proven record of integrity, dedication, and muscle spasms because of low potassium, pretend Hulk Hogan has what it takes to make a real difference in this state. Join the campaign for a stronger West Virginia. Vote for pretend Hulk Hogan for Senate. If he loses, he'll hang up his tights. And it's cold in here, so don't judge him.
Train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. Be true to yourself, true to your country. Be a real American.
Paid for with pretend money for pretend Hulk Hogan.
Did that hurt?
A little bit.
After a while?
At the end, it did. Yeah, that's the best I can do in 10 minutes.
I thought that when I saw this, it says pretend Hulk Hogan for West Virginia Senate ad. I thought that you were writing pretend because it wasn't the real Hulk Hogan for West Virginia. I didn't know that Pretend Hulk Hogan was like the name.
Yeah, his name is Pretend Hulk Hogan.
I was so prepared to go all in on how ridiculous it was that you had to
say pretend.
Articulate that this isn't
the
fake.
real Hulk Hogan. Well, the real Hulk Hogan is in that ad.
I
if
would
you noticed.
know.
Yeah.
Is that music? Is that specific music?
I Am a Real American is by Hulk Hogan.
It is?
I was going to say, that's his song. He always walked into that.
Okay. I am probably of this time, but not that gender. When those things used to matter. What do you want to know about Barbie? Like not original Barbie, but 80s, 90s Barbie. All right, let's take a quick break. We've got a few more questions to ask on the other side, so don't go anywhere. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube Live and answer the question, are you or do you love a veteran? I am a veteran, I salute a veteran, or I'm a communist. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. We'll be right back. I want to talk to you about the Jewish Federation and their campaign. It's the Blue Ribbon Campaign to show solidarity for Israel. This is an amazing opportunity for you to put that heart, compassion that you have right now, those feelings, those strong feelings of wanting to show support to Israel and to these 230 hostages that have been taken by Hamas in Israel. You can be a part of a solution. A month has passed since the attack against innocent Israeli citizens, and Hamas terrorists have killed more than 1,400 people simply because they're Jewish. That is the reality of the situation. That is what we talk about here on this show daily, and we can be a small part of trying to provide a solution. They also took and still hold captive more than 230 innocent people. If you want to be a part of a better solution, of something positive, I invite you to join the Blue Ribbon Campaign that I am proud to support. Go to jfedstl.com from the Jewish Federation, jfedstl.org. Please visit that website and learn about the Blue Ribbon Campaign showing solidarity to the hostages and donate to the emergency response. Every single dollar of your gift will go to legitimate, established, on-the-ground humanitarian nonprofits who are saving lives, rebuilding infrastructure, and providing trauma relief. jfedstl.org.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
We are still in the middle of Ask Me Anything. You can get your questions in by hashtagging it AMA at the Annie Frey YouTube page. Also, the YouTube live chat poll is, are you or do you love a veteran? We're giving shout-outs to people who especially are veterans, or if you have somebody close to you. The options for that vote are I am a veteran, I salute a veteran, or I'm a communist. Let us know what you think on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. 150 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Shows that make a difference in your day.
Your home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the army goes rolling along. When it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off and pay the sound and strong.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Veterans Day weekend. We are excited to and grateful to honor those people who have served our country, and we're talking about them, and we're talking to you about them today. Vicky on YouTube says, both my grandfathers, my stepdad, my father-in-law, and his 3 brothers, all in World War II at the same time. My uncles, my brother-in-law, and currently my nephew in the Navy. What a family. Wavy, we see Wavy all the time on the chat. He says, I'm a proud veteran of the United States Navy and the U.S. Air Force. Wow, that's fantastic. Wavy, thank you for your service. Let's see here. Amber said, my dad, grandfathers, uncles, and father-in-law all served. I salute them and all the others who have served past and present. We'll keep reading through these as we go through the day. We got X's and O's around the corner here, so stick around. Happy to have you. How did I do there? Was that good enough, or should I consider a plan B?
Oh, for that entrance to the segment?
You weren't even listening.
No, I was listening. I didn't pay attention because you nailed it. I only noticed when it was like, ooh.
Like the last segment?
Yeah, that was bad. This one's great.
All right. Ask us anything. Go ahead. Take it.
Okay, let's look at some more questions here. Hunter asks, how does the show feel about eggnog?
Love it. Don't need anything in it, but love it.
I agree. I absolutely love eggnog. I'll even drink holiday nog. It's all good. I don't know. I think maybe one of them doesn't have as much egg in it.
I think you're thinking of holiday custard.
Well, there's that too. But there's also the off-brand eggnog that's a little cheaper called holiday nog. I think it just means, it's like when they say, there's milk, it's milk chocolatey. It's not real.
I love eggnog. Brad, you like eggnog?
I do. It's kind of weird. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
I like a shot of it. I don't want a big glass of it. It's
I
like
agree.
I will. It's almost like I'll just take a shot of it. That's basically.
Or I like really watering it down with a lot of ice, like a big glass of ice.
That sounds like the worst possible thing you can do.
Eggnog over it,
No.
because then it's not quite as thick, and it's very, very good.
Man, you just ruin everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I'm serious. Because eggnog is so thick.
It's part of the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to eat it, so I want to drink it. And so I pour it over as much ice as possible. And then I chew the ice because you're not around.
That sounds awful. Sounds awful.
Next.
Well, this one actually was going to be for Leah, but she has to run out of the studio real quick for X's and O's. How about another one from Bobo Farms? He says, pumpkin, apple, or cherry pie?
Cherry.
Ooh, this is tough. Apple a la mode, so it's got to have ice cream on it. It's got to be warm.
Put ice in your ice cream?
No.
Okay. Do you?
No.
Well,
yes,
that'd be crazy.
You do.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I am not a communist to
Which
answer
one?
that question. Pumpkin.
Yeah.
A lot of food questions today. I'm going to pull up another one here from Scooter. He says, have you grilled pizza?
No, I'd like to, though.
I would, too. Every time I see that on the package, I'm like, ooh, someday that's going to happen.
If we're eating frozen pizza in my house, there's there's zero time for fancifying it. Jack's Pizza, 2 for $6 at Ruler Foods.
I wanted to put it on the smoker.
I can't eat Jack's Pizza without you thinking about you and Ruler Foods now. Every time I'm at home, I'm like, Jack's Pizza. Hey, these are at Ruler Foods. Annie told me.
Rent free.
Yeah, you are. All right, this one is for Annie. It comes from Dan M. It says, Annie, since you are a merge late person, when do you put your signal to merge on?
When I decide that it is going to be time to merge at the zipper, which would be the correct way to do it.
Does anybody ever get also very infuriated when people can't figure out the zipper merge at a McDonald's drive-thru?
I actually try to avoid those places. I'm too competitive for it.
Because
Because when people don't do the right thing, it bothers me more than it should.
Yeah, but the thing about the drive-thru is that you can look those people right in the eye. And
Do you get out of the car and just stand there and stare at them?
I don't, but I will look at them and be like, what are you trying here? Because it's clear that it's my turn. Because I'm not going to try to get in front of you. What are you trying to do to me?
If anything Ryan would fight over, I think it would be McDonald's drive-thru.
You're right.
Where I could get out and kick the guy's door.
Last question before we go. Balls asks, on a legend scale of 1 to 10, Wiggins, do you think a 10 best describes your legendary status?
I think 10's limiting it is my answer. I would be above that. You're welcome.
This is a horrible time to bring this music in. This is offensive to the entire
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
section of our military.
Yes.
Our great military. All right, legend.
Thank
X's
you.
and O's with Heroes Care. We're so excited to have him in here to talk about what Heroes Care does when we come back.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You've been dreaming about that kitchen remodel for quite some time. You've priced it out, and it is expensive. Well, I've got an alternative for you right now. Don't sleep on Classic Kitchen Refacing. If you go online to classickitchenrefacing.com right now, you'll see how they can transform your kitchen into the kitchen of your dreams for much, much less. If you're looking to save money but still have that dream kitchen, go online to classickitchenrefacing.com and see how they take your cabinetry. A lot of places are going to tear it out and replace it. That is extremely expensive. Reface those cabinets with a nice wood finish, with a paint color of your dreams. They take the hinges and the cabinet pulls and refinish those to get you a finish that you really like, along with a backsplash that really brings out the color and the feel and the trend of the room. And then you finish it off with those beautiful Cambria quartz countertops. Don't wait on calling Classic Kitchen Refacing, 314-739-1730, 314-739-1730. Reach out to them today. They're in St. Anne, online at classickitchenrefacing.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Intense fighting near a hospital in Gaza. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Israeli military considers Shifa, the main hospital in Gaza City, as a stronghold for Hamas.
The IDF targeted that area with strikes as they move deeper into the dense neighborhoods of northern Gaza. But the heavy fighting is yet again forcing thousands more to pick up what they can and flee. 80,000 civilians moved south today, utilizing the 6-hour evacuation corridor on Gaza's main highway.
Fox's Jeff Paul. Tomorrow marks 5 weeks since Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,400 people and taking more than 200 hostage. Israel's prime minister allowing localized humanitarian pauses, but no ceasefire without the hostages being released. A 47th attack by Iran-backed proxies targeting U.S. forces in the Middle East, the 5th since a second U.S. airstrike in Syria aimed at deterrence. The president gets the ball rolling for primary season with help from the vice president.
President Joe Biden will be on South Carolina's ballot, thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris, who made a trip to the state to file the official paperwork. She was joined by South Carolina Democratic Congressman Jim Clyburn, whose 2020 endorsement gave the then candidate Biden enough momentum to win Super Tuesday and go on to clinch the Democratic nomination.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Last year, the president asked the Democratic Party to move South Carolina to first on the primary calendar over the Iowa caucuses, which are still the first contest for Republicans. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum resisting calls to consider dropping out of the Republican presidential race after failing to qualify for the latest debate.
A couple of people have decided that 2 months before the voting starts in a state like New Hampshire that it's important to somehow narrow the field.
Burgum says competition is good for the country and the party. Some Republicans are concerned, though, about anyone having time to build momentum against frontrunner Donald Trump in a crowded field. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
No question, we are back to that November feel. Sunny skies this afternoon. About 62 should do it for the high. Tonight, clear skies. We will drop into and through the 50s. And it's cold overnight, 32. Saturday, obviously a cold start. Sunshine, pretty close to 60 for the high Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, partly cloudy and 35. Sunday, sunny and 62. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's hard to believe, but the holidays are right around the corner. Can you imagine the joy on Abuela's face when you sit down for the holiday meal and chat with her? in Spanish. Or drop off some cookies at your neighbor's house and chat in Mandarin? With Rosetta Stone, it's possible. Rosetta Stone's immersive method helps prepare you for conversations in the real world, whether that's connecting with friends and family or taking the trip of your dreams. The Rosetta Stone Unlimited subscription provides access to all 25 of Rosetta Stone's languages forever, so you don't have to pick just one. And their award-winning app features immersive 10-minute lessons to fit into even the busiest day. Plus, every subscription now comes with access to live lessons, where expert tutors teach you fun new words related to local holidays, cultural traditions, food and drink, and more. Don't wait. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to score 50% off, now through November 22nd. That's rosettastone.com/radio.
Mark Cox here. Join me in supporting the Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon campaign. The Blue Ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 240 hostages taken by Hamas terrorists and unites you with the people of all religions and races and nationalities in telling the people of Israel they're not alone. Every dollar donated goes to saving lives and providing support in Israel. Visit jfedstl.org to learn more and donate. That's jfedstl.org.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text EARN to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text EARN to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text EARN to 26022.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
This is 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Friday at 2 o'clock. We're happy to have you here. Hope you're going into a Veterans Weekend here with a lot of gratitude in your heart. We certainly have had that here on the Annie Frey Show today, and we're sharing that with you. We've had people reaching out to us talking about the people who they want to recognize. Jess says that she loves a veteran because we have a YouTube live chat poll up today. Are you or do you love a veteran? And your options are I am a veteran, I salute a veteran, and we want to know who that is in the comments. And your third option is I'm a communist, because you don't get to say you don't. Jess says that she loves a veteran. Her husband is Air Force in the Vietnam era. Terry says, I salute my dad. Eldon Schmidt, a Vietnam veteran and career Air Force officer. And we've got Mike said, a salute to my father, the greatest generation, Sergeant Army, World War II. God bless his soul. Keep them coming. We love hearing these and seeing these and just having a generally positive outlook on today going into the weekend. Now, we play X's and O's at 2 o'clock on Fridays, and we've got a very special couple guests in here today because we've partnered with our friends out at Heroes Care to come in and play. Yes, a round of applause for Heroes Care.
We love you guys.
We've got Austin and Lois in here. Lois, you are a member of the board chair?
Yes, I'm at the board chair.
So we're going to, before we get into and get Todd the drummer in here, we're going to talk a little bit about what Heroes Care is. We've been out to Heroes Care. We broadcasted live out there. You have supported so many things that we've done with our show and the diaper drive when they brought pallets of diapers out to us. But I wanted to give you, Lois, an opportunity to tell me what Heroes Care is, and then we'll get into how people listening can participate or help.
Okay, we Heroes Care is before and during and after deployment. So we started, John Jerome started 20 years ago, and over the 20 years, we have given out $170 million in goods, materials, and just clothing, etc. It is an awesome thing. What we've done this year, and that's when you guys were out earlier this year, on our open house, we had opened our Mission Depot. And our Mission Depot, we want the active military and veterans to come out and shop our depot. We're in an old Kmart building, so it's kind of like a shopping in Kmart, but a lot more high-end items, of course. And so you get around $300 to $600 worth of items every month or month and a half when you come, and it's absolutely free. And that's our gift to our active military and our veterans because you served for us and you are serving for us.
Lois, I mean, it really does seem too good to be true. And if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I don't think I'd fully comprehend what the mission from Heroes Care actually is. So just to be completely, explicitly clear on this, who qualifies to come to that Kmart location, the Heroes Care Mission Depot, who qualifies to come in and get that $300 to $600 of monthly goods?
Anybody that has served, has a DD-214, AMVET card, anybody that's served in the military or anybody active military, you just have to show proof of ID. So if you have an active, ID, that's what you show. You do go on the website, you call heroescare.org, you sign up, and then we will call you and then set an appointment. So it's a one-on-one experience. So we have shopping assistants, and they go around, and you just pick out anywhere items from like Men's Warehouse. We partner with Amazon. We partner with Coach. You can even get a Coach purse. Just amazing amount of stuff. Food, just shampoo. Any of your needs, we would be able to have for you.
And we have Austin in here who is active duty, and we are incredibly honored and grateful, Austin, to you. So thank you for coming in here and letting us have some fun with you on a 2 o'clock afternoon radio show. We appreciate you, first and foremost. But you and your family have gone to Mission Depot and experienced that. What was that like for you to go in and kind of take in the efforts of Heroes Care, who are really probably just trying to dig as deep into their heart as they can to show you thank you for what you are doing and what those who have served before you are doing?
So I can't say I have personally been out there. I move around a lot. My wife, however, I got it advertised from the base. They said, hey, this is an option. This is right nearby. My wife went out and she said it was a super simple process. She just gave them a call, got something scheduled, and she went in and they gave her a list and said, hey, these are all the things you can pick up. And she just went and shopped around. It's, like Lois said, it's just kind of like shopping, except there's no checkout at the end.
It's amazing. Talk to me about families. So I think this is a perfect example of the mission of Heroes Care because you are helping him by helping her while he is away. This is to help the families because we all know that when one person in the family serves, that there is a sacrifice made by the entire people in their orbit.
Yeah, so we even Gold Star families. We have families that have kids. We have children's clothing. We have children's items, toys. It's just amazing. If you can think of any kind of high-end store, we have it all. So we cater to the families. If somebody is away, we help if they are deployed, we help the spouse, and we will stay with that spouse until they get back. So if she has a problem with say a bat in the attic, we'll come out and make sure that we help her get that bat. So she doesn't have to worry about, telling her husband or her spouse that it's there. So,
well, I can't think of a better way on Veterans Day weekend to champion what Heroes Care does, because the goal of Heroes Care really does give us a place to put our gratitude into action. People can certainly go to heroescare.org and donate, but there's also people's time.
Yes. I mean, volunteers, always looking for volunteers, because we right now we're doing about 15 veterans and active military coming through a mission depot. We'd really like to increase that, but it does take people to do that. So, and then also our detagging. So when we get, Amazon comes in, we get sometimes 50 to 80 pallets a week. So we have to detag that out, or we have to separate it out. Some stuff goes to the military, some stuff goes, into the mission depot. So we have to make sure that we are getting the right products out to everybody.
Well, go to heroescare.org to learn more. Ryan, I'll turn it over to you so you can get the game started. But we all went out there and broadcast out there. It was really, you hear people talk about it, and it's like, wow, that is awesome. But seeing it, it's like a picture's worth 1,000 words. It was worth that exponentially.
Yeah, just like it always is. Lois, did you say that was this year?
Yes.
That happened? I can't believe that seems like so long ago.
It was in March.
That was in March of 2023 that we were out there, and that was right when it opened.
Yes, it was our 20-year anniversary open house party. So we had
Okay.
We had like a lot of giveaways that day, and it was a lot of fun.
That was fun to see how you guys operate, because when you say it, it's one thing. When you see people just coming in and they're actually getting just free things.
Nice things.
Nice things, brand new
things.
Yeah, this isn't like a yard sale. This is like stuff from companies that they're donating to you that just like walking through a mall.
Like a Coach scarf. I mean, who would guess that you would get one of those? So.
That's great. It's just a great mission. Thank you guys for being here, especially right before Veterans Day here. Appreciate your time, and of course, Austin, your service. You guys are on the same team, but today you're going to be competitors with X's and O's. So I understand that you've gotten a little bit of a briefing on how this game works, but just so that everybody knows, behind you right here are 9 squares. It's a tic-tac-toe board. Austin, you're going to be X's. Lois, you're going to be O's. We've already determined that. And you'll be competing against each other. Now, just because somebody gets a tic-tac-toe, that doesn't mean we stop playing. We try to get as many tic-tac-toes as you can on that board, and if nobody gets any, then it's just whoever gets most squares is how we determine the winner.
And then the winner gets high fives.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Maybe an
More
Andy
high
Frey
fives.
Show t-shirt if we can find some around here.
Don't expect anything.
Okay, maybe a Mark Cox Show t-shirt.
Yeah, those are everywhere. There's like wine around here. So Annie and Brad are your experts. Leah's going to be running the board, and so she'll be doing kind of some socials while we're doing this. But you will each pick a square, and then I will ask that question of whichever of these two experts that you answer for. Well, they'll answer for you. You simply agree or disagree for the square. It's pretty much like Hollywood Squares, but it's with news from the week. And this news is, a lot of politics, but it can veer outside of that a little bit. So it's just stuff that's happened this week.
There's our boy Todd.
There's the drummer Todd. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. He's a hard-working man.
He doesn't say a lot, though.
Yeah.
Austin, we determined that you are going to go first. So the board is wide open. Pick whichever square you'd like.
Hey, way to go with the pre-plan. That was good.
Yeah,
I wanted to give
know.
you credit for
I
something
wrote
you did that
down.
was good.
Thank you.
Like you did earlier to the show
Yeah.
for me.
We said Lois is going to be O's, and I'm like, Lois? O's. Don't forget. Austin, that means you're X's.
Yes.
And you go first.
You know what? Let's go right for the middle. Let's go for 5.
Let's do it. All right.
Center square.
Is Annie or Brad going to answer this question for you?
Let's have Annie do it. It's her show.
Let's go, Austin.
It is Annie's show.
Thanks for reminding Ryan.
I mean, I didn't see him write it down. So.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just not mention that again for the entire 2 o'clock hour. This is my time to shine, you guys. Number 7, Annie, you're going to answer. And guess what? Right out of the gate, we got an audio question for you. Oh, well, maybe.
Oh.
Leah's running the board.
All
Leah
right.
needs your support on the YouTube channel. She's doing this for the first time.
Yeah, we're throwing her in the fire here. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Audio. All right. That means there's audio associated with this question. The House may vote to impeach him next week, but this is an audio clip from the Senate where they've been grilling Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. It is Senator Kennedy speaking.
Either you're not qualified to manage a Costco food court, or you believe in open border.
So I actually just botched. I told you. I said I botched that question so badly out of the gate because the question. I'm still going to ask it though. What is Alejandro Mayorkas not qualified to manage according to Senator Kennedy? Here's the actual clip I was going to play.
Costco.
Here's what I think, Mr. Secretary. I think you're a smart guy. Now, there are only one or two things going on here. Either you're not qualified to manage a
Costco.
Oh, yeah, was it?
I would have known. No, I would have known that.
And I think it's the
Senator
latter.
Kennedy, your time has expired.
I would have known that. And
Okay.
I would have said Costco, and Austin trusted me.
Austin, what do you think? I
Do you
mean,
agree or disagree?
I'm going to take a leap of faith here, and I'm going to have to say I agree.
oh, man.
If we were ever going to spoil a question in favor of somebody, I'm glad it was Austin.
Yeah.
He deserves it. Put your X, Austin, up in square number 5 right
Oh,
there.
man.
in the middle.
Nice start, everybody.
There's a
Great
marker
job.
right in front of you. Right? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it was a Costco. Excellent work.
I
All right.
always listen to you ask these questions and go through what's the question going to be. And I had Mayorkas, Homeland Security, and Costco in my head.
So you would have gotten it regardless.
Yeah.
All right. Lois, now to you. I don't know that I'm going to be quite as easy on you as we were with that question.
Well,
Sorry about that.
shoot.
But now you got the middle square taken.
I will-
So which of these squares
I will
would you
take
like to
number 1.
All right, number 1. And would you like to have Annie answer or Brad answer this question?
I will take Brad.
All right, Brad is directing traffic right now.
But he's listening.
So, all right, Brad, here's your question. A New York Times Siena poll at the beginning of the week polled every major candidate in every major swing state against each other, and Trump only lost to Biden in one state. Against Kamala Harris, he only lost one state as well, but it was a different state. Name either of those only 2 states the New York Times had him losing to either Biden or Harris.
So,
Ooh, there are 2 polls.
yeah, there's 2 polls,
That
but
have
I
two
only have to
different
name one.
states.
I only have to name one.
Yeah, but they're 2 different states.
And they're 2 different states, but I know the one state. He lost to Biden in Wisconsin.
Ooh, you sure about that? Lois, what do you think?
Don't try to throw her off a scent. Don't trust anything Ryan Wiggins tries to do.
I am going to say no.
How do I do a reverse bell? That was correct.
Is
Wisconsin was correct.
Because the latest one out is Michigan.
Yeah, and well, Michigan was the one that he lost to Harris. So either one of those would have worked. But
All right.
X gets the square, so off to a big lead there for Austin.
Austin's like, this is the best game ever.
Yeah, this is great. Couldn't have done any better if we tried.
So we have an X in the top left, an X in the center square, and Austin, who is X's, is up next, and we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we will wrap up today's X's and O's and get to the last 7 questions on the board. We appreciate Austin and Heroes Care, Austin for your service and Heroes Care for giving back. And we are ready to salute your loved ones as well here on the Annie Frey Show. Get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, play X's and O's along with us, and leave a comment like Dirk says, I salute veterans. 2 uncles were in the Battle of Saipan in World War II. My dad and 3 other uncles served during the Korean conflict, and a cousin flew helicopters in Vietnam. Thanks to all vets. Dirk, well said. We'll be right back.
Desert sky, dream beneath the desert sky. The rivers run but soon run dry. We need new dreams tonight. Desert rose, dream that sour desert rose.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Ribbons and in bows.
New Jersey, Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media, the Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mark Cox here. Join me next spring on a beautiful trip to Italy. This is going to be great. We're going to fly into Rome. We are going to get on a bus and travel south to the Abbey of Monte Cassino, maybe Italy's best-kept secret. It looks like something out of a picture book. We'll visit Puglia. We'll go to Caserta. We're going to spend several days in Sorrento. You'll have an opportunity to visit the ruins in Pompeii, and then Positano, which is on the Amalfi Coast and absolutely one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I can tell you, my wife and I have been there, and we can't wait to go back. You can even take a high-speed jet foil over to the Isle of Capri, which has some tremendous historic Roman ruins on it that you can visit while you're there. $53.67 a person. That includes your airfare from the St. Louis area. Call them toll-free at 888-733-9494. That's 888-733-9494 or conservativetours.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $3,500 with double carrier cool cash rebates on a qualifying high-efficiency furnace or HVAC system. For details, get into your comfort zone, aircomfortservice.com.
You don't have to punch it in.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
You can just say it.
Hey, Alexa, hey, Siri.
Play 97.1 FM Talk. Available on your smart speaker any time of day. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You said you're Air Force, right? Yeah, this is for you. We did this on purpose. Austin and Lois in here playing X's and O's on a Friday afternoon. Lois is the chair of the board for Heroes Care in Austin, is currently serving in the Air Force, and we are recognizing and thanking with open hearts our veterans today as we move into Veterans Weekend. Rick says, I have several friends who are in Vietnam and Korean vets, 2 of which didn't come back. I salute them, especially those who gave the last full measure of their lives. And Jay Main said, yes, I am a vet. 12 Bravo leads the way. So we're going to continue to read some of your comments as they come in on the Annie Frey Show chat. You can watch us play X's and O's. It is Austin's turn. He's got an X in the upper left, an X in the center, and those are the only 2 on the board. So Ryan, take it away.
Going for the kill. Well, I don't know where you're going to go. I'm not going to tell you where to go, Austin. Where would you like to go on the board?
Going for the kill.
I mean, let's go right for the bottom. Let's go for number 9.
Oh, okay.
Bottom right for the
interesting.
for the tic-tac-toe.
All right, and then will this be Annie or Brad as your expert answering the question?
Let's let Brad take this one.
All right,
Brad.
All right, Ryan.
The Blues won against the Coyotes yesterday 2-1. And they've been on a winning streak after a difficult beginning to the season. True or false, though?
Costco.
The Blues. Yeah, I guess just give that one to Austin, man. True or false? The Blues are still in last place in the Central Division.
Oh, man, I hate to say this because of the season the Cardinals had, and I haven't been following the Blues as close as I usually do because
they're in last place?
Well, it's because I've been watching the St. Louis City, who was winners until they weren't.
Here.
Yeah.
So I need to get in the Blues thing, but I'm just going to go with my gut feeling here. I think they're still in last place.
Are you a Blues fan?
I'm not. I work with quite a few of them.
Are you from the area, or
No,
did you
no.
find yourself here?
They stuck me here.
They stuck you.
Illinois sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Said no one ever.
Right. Oh, yeah, Illinois sounds great.
Except me. I'm still there and I love it.
All right, so you're saying
They're
true.
true. They're still in
last place. Austin?
I'm going to have to disagree. I feel like I would have heard if they were flat at the bottom. I got to disagree.
Doggone it, Austin's right again.
Great job.
Yeah, Austin is right.
Tic-tac-toe.
They are not even really close to last place anymore. They're right in the middle at this point.
Yeah, it's
but
so early in the
It's
season.
so early that the points are
Yeah, that
actually
makes
pretty
sense.
stacked. But yeah. All right, so we
I'm
have a
glad I didn't get that
tic-tac-toe
question.
on the board. It's going to be a tough comeback, but Lois, are you up to it?
Yeah.
I am.
She is.
Fantastic. Because if you weren't, this is going to be a really short segment. Lois, where would you like to go on this board?
Well, I will go. There's not a lot of choices here, but I'll go 4.
4.
Middle left.
All right, who's answering this question for you?
Annie.
Annie, you have stumbled into AI sound.
Okay.
So this is a real clip from the week, but I've run the words through AI software. So it's not going to sound like the person saying it, but it is a real clip. Annie, you have to tell me who said this.
We know there are two. There are 2 additional Democrats running for running for president right now. One is the congressman from Minnesota. The other one is the governor of California.
Annie, who said that this week?
I played this.
Do you want to hear it again?
Yep.
All right, one more time.
Oh, I know. Play it again, though.
We know there are 2. There are 2 additional Democrats running for running for president right now. One is the congressman from Minnesota. The other one is the governor of California.
I know it sounds like Snoop Dogg saying it, but it wasn't him.
Senator John Fetterman.
Lois?
I'll agree.
Here's who really said that.
Right now, there are two additional Democrats running for running for president right now. One is a congressman from Minnesota. The other one is the governor of California.
That is correct.
Senator Fetterman.
That's awesome.
Just took you a second.
job,
It all
Lois.
came back, though.
All right.
Lois, you are on the board.
Do you know how many sound clips I play? Not even just on the show. I'm like, I know I played it. Let me go through
Yeah, catalog.
each sheet that I looked at. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Good job.
All right. Lois is on the board. Austin's still in the lead. What would you like to do here, Austin?
Let's take a shot at 3.
3. So
3, and
that's
who
top
is
right.
answering this question for you?
Let's give it to Annie.
Annie. Someone asked Mitt Romney this week who he would vote for if the nominees are Trump and Biden again. And he said he would write in the same person that he voted for before. Who was it? And I'll give you 3 choices.
Okay. I don't know.
A, Mitt Romney. B, his wife. Or C, John McCain.
His wife. I don't know this, but I feel it. Which is supposed to count for everything these days.
That was also the one that felt right to me, so I'm going to agree.
Doggone it if you are at
Look at him
100%
go.
today.
Man, I'm glad Austin's in charge of things in this country.
No kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Lois agrees. Great job, man. Again, Austin gets the X, and Lois is up against a tough board.
If you're watching or listening right now, and you have any compassion for what Lois is going through, you should go to heroescare.org.
Please.
And you should make a $9.71 donation in honor of her self-esteem.
Please.
The more you feel, the more you give.
Yeah, or volunteer your time.
Heroescare.org. Yes, volunteer your time. On behalf of Lois.
97.1 days this year.
Yes. Inflation.
All right, Lois, back to you.
Okay, I will take 7.
7 is bottom
7.
left.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I could have sang 6, but it
You
doesn't
can
matter.
say 6.
Okay, I'll take 6.
You can change it.
6.
6.
Mid-right.
All right. 6, who's answering this for you?
I'll take Annie.
All right. This one's a little about a left field, but comedian Bill Engvall has released his final comedy special after mostly retiring to become a minister. He warns that cancel culture is potentially killing comedy. Engvall was originally part of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, which featured 4 performers. Other than him, name 2 of the other Blue Collar Comedy members. Of the 4. She's writing. What are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
I didn't know we could do that. That changes this game a lot.
There's 4 total.
There are 4 total.
Bill Engvall.
Yep, he's
Jeff,
one of them.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Okay.
Larry the Cable Guy. Tater Salad.
Tater salad. You got to give tater salad.
Yeah, you do. Because that's what they call him. That's my answer.
Agree or disagree?
Oh, I'm going to agree.
Yeah, you agree.
Yeah, I think.
Ron White.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dropping the nicknames of the people, I think you can go ahead and.
I couldn't come up with Ron White until I just said Ron White.
Oh, really?
I could just hear him saying they call me Tater
Yep,
Salad.
you got it. You got it.
Man, I'm pretty proud of that answer.
I thought Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy would be the obvious ones. Ron White is the tougher one. All right, back to Austin. The board has 3 squares on it. How much do you want to dominate here, Austin? That's the question.
Well, let's just fill out that top
on
row.
behalf of America, I hope it's go.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and fully dominate here.
And
is what
remember,
Austin
if you
said.
feel for Lois, go to heroescare.org and make a donation
That's
of
right.
money or time.
Please, please.
All right, Austin said square number 2.
Which is the middle of the top.
And who are you picking to answer this?
Let's go with Brad.
All right.
All right, Brad, guess what? You have the other audio. That means there is audio associated with this question. It is about a sitcom star who spoke at the Trump rally this week, but the sitcom star's audio that I was pulling from was so full of words that I can't play on the radio that this was the only clip that I could pull.
And I'm very proud to introduce to you KG Kimberly Garfoyle.
That's close enough.
So
killing it.
That really is the only clip that I could find that didn't have a ton of expletives in it.
You said a sitcom star, and immediately my mind goes to Friends, and then it's like, was that a Trump rally? And then I'm like, no. And then, she was so far off my radar as a sitcom star, but you're right, she is a sitcom star. So Roseanne Barr.
Is that the question?
The question is, who is she?
Yeah. Okay.
Roseanne Barr.
Lois? Oh, Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, Austin.
Agreed. That's a pretty distinctive voice there.
I said off air, I think it was to Brad, that I wanted to look at some of that stuff. It was so foul. I couldn't even have it on in front of my children.
Yes.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I thought, oh, this will be funny. And I was like, whoa, this is not
consistently
great.
so.
Yeah.
And not for air.
It wasn't flattering,
No.
really in any way.
No.
All right, good job. Austin is, again.
Who is Kimberly
has a tic-tac.
Girlful?
I think she said Garfield.
Garfield. Anywho.
Up next is Garfield and Odie. All right, Lois, back to you with the last 2 squares.
All right. 8.
8.
8 is the bottom middle.
And who's answering that question?
I'm going to take Annie again.
Annie, you have, again, stumbled into AI sound, which means that this, again, is a real clip from the week run through AI Tell me who said this.
I'm ready.
Let's look at whether we have a president that has actually produced and followed through on his commitments. Joe Biden has done that. That's the measure of the man, not what's on his birth certificate in terms of his age.
There's not any real great hints within the audio, but the overall sentiment might
Play
tell
one more
you.
time.
Okay, here you go.
Let's look at whether we have a president that has actually produced and followed through on his commitments. Joe Biden has done that. That's the measure of the man, not what's on his birth certificate in terms of his age.
I'm going to guess Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Didn't she have an interview with somebody on something?
I think that would be safe to
Listen,
say.
there's only so much I could take.
Lois?
I'm going to agree.
Okay.
Here's who really said that this week.
Let's look at whether we have a president who has actually produced
who else would
and
say
followed
that?
through on his commitments. Joe Biden has done that. That's the measure of the man, not what's on his birth certificate in terms of his age.
Maybe both of them are the measures of the man.
We have one square left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh.
And Austin, if you get this, you will then have 3 tic-tac-toes.
I just really like how symmetrical it is.
Yeah, I
Don't
am
you?
with you.
Yeah, it's like a Stanley Kubrick film.
Let's go, let's hear 7.
He's
All
really
right.
weird.
All right,
I forgot to tell you that.
7.
And I'm all that's left.
Wait a minute
It's a
now.
ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
7.
Did you ask the wrong question?
Hang on. Yes, I did. All right, here we go. This Israeli-born superhero star made news this week by announcing plans to screen the Hamas terror attack footage of October 7th, saying on October 7th, quote, "The world cannot sit on the fence while these horrific acts of terror are happening," unquote. What is the name of the actress or the superhero character that she plays?
Ooh. So I'll probably go mispronounce her name, but it's Gal Gadot. Gadot. And she plays Wonder Woman.
Austin?
I sure hope that's who it is because I can't think of a single other person.
That is correct.
Austin!
Austin!
Woo!
Man, what a game. Good job.
Our country is in fine hands.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All
All war
right.
settled through tic-tac-toe.
I mean, it kind of feels like that's the way we could win. It's like a proposal.
1, 2, 3.
3 tic-tac-toes, 6 X's, 3 O's. Austin
Wow.
is the victor, but Heroes Care, we appreciate you. Lois, thank you for being in here with us.
Thank you.
We
It was a lot of
appreciate
fun.
you. Austin, we are incredibly grateful for your service. Thanks for sharing some of your time with us today.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
Good to have you. HeroesCare.org is the website. Go be a part of the mission that is right here in our backyard. It is incredibly simple to participate. They need your time as much, maybe even more than they need your funds. So go to HeroesCare.org and spend an afternoon with them and give back to the people who have given so much to us. Round of applause to Austin and Lois. Thank you for being in here. We appreciate both of you. We'll be back with the results of our YouTube live chat poll when we return. Are you or do you love a veteran? Your 3 options are I'm a veteran, I salute a veteran, which we want to know in the comments as well. And your 3rd option is I'm a communist. Go to the Andy Frey YouTube channel and vote. We'll be right back.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Mark Cox here. You're not alone if you think when you hear an ad saying, we'll buy your home for cash, you're just a few short minutes away from a lowball offer, right? Well, I was talking with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's what she said. It's crucial to know the truth about those cash offer companies. You spend years earning equity in your home. You decide you need to sell it. A cash investment company buys your home for 15% below market value, puts a little TLC into it, then sells it for 10% above its original true market value. Here's what I can say. Gloria Liu's different. She has multiple cash buyers who bid against each other, giving you the highest cash offer to choose from. Zero hassle, no showings, and close quickly. Learn more, get multiple cash offers today by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Air Comfort Service is waiting for your phone call for your heating, air conditioning, probably past that right now, but maybe you know that you're going to have to replace that along with your furnace and your insulation needs. When you go online to aircomfortservice.com, you are going to be able to see all of the different services that they offer. I want to talk about how aggressive they are at making your ability to get the replacement done that you're going to need as simple as possible. They have 53 years of award-winning service that has helped people just like you when your furnace is starting to kick out and you're just like, gosh, dang it, not now. When you go to Air Comfort Service, they have rebates that are available for you. They have incredible financing that is available for you, and they're going to be able to give you options. Through November 18th, Carrier Cool Cash rebates are back. You can save $50 to get this, up to $1,725 in Carrier Cool Cash on qualifying HVAC equipment. Plus, you can qualify for 0% financing for up to 72 months in utility rebates. Air Comfort Service is your advocate for your HVAC needs, for your insulation needs. I am a customer of theirs. The Frey family has had them out multiple times to repair things, to fix things, to replace things. I trust them in my home, and I encourage you to give them the opportunity to earn that trust from you as well. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Feels good to be home.
Our local Ashley store has the biggest and best Black Friday furniture and mattress deals going on right now. Literally everything is on sale throughout the store, including up to 75% off designer-picked holiday hot buys. Plus, you can shop confidently because Ashley's price match guarantee ensures you'll get the best price. So if you're looking for trend-forward styles at unbelievable Black Friday prices, shop your local Ashley store today, only at Ashley.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
We've been talking about this poll, and we're about to talk about it even more. I think we are guessing that we know kind of what the results are going to be, but let us know what you think about this question. Are you or do you love a veteran? The options are I am a veteran, I salute a veteran, or I'm a communist. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, you're about to hear the results of that, and of course, lots of shout-outs throughout the day, and probably a few more of those before 3 o'clock. It is 2:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Former Senator John Lamping.
I've long thought throughout this entire year, the 2024 election cycle will be an historic one, a realignment of all kinds of stars.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. November 10th, the day before Veterans Day. I was telling a story earlier in the show about my grandfather who served in World War II. He was a captain in the Army. He met my grandmother when she was 18, I think, in Australia. They met. She ended up signing up to serve in Australia, whatever women signed up to do in the 40s in Australia. And they ended up getting married, and the rest is history. So I am wholeheartedly recognizing my grandpa and so grateful for the service. I know that there are things that he experienced in World War II that he talked about, and I know there are things that maybe he just didn't pass on because he chose not to. But for all of the veterans that have served, we are so incredibly grateful for you. November 10th is also my other grandpa's birthday. He would have been 100 years old today. I looked. Wow. I was gonna share a video that I had put on Facebook when my grandmother, who was the one who passed away in 2020, was very close with her. And on his birthday, we would always, this is the one who you might have heard me talk about every Sunday night. We'd go play pinochle cards in Hamel with my grandma. And around my grandpa's birthday, she would still make him a birthday cake. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess it would have, I think it was in 2017. I think we were sitting around this table that we sat around so many times, and she had made this birthday cake. So we just decided to sing my grandpa happy birthday. And my grandma had a picture of him, of course, and I videoed it. And I'm really glad that I did that. And I went to look at his obituary because I couldn't remember what year he was born. 1923. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's 100 years.
Wow.
That's amazing. I was blessed to have all of my grandparents until I was in college. That is like an incredible, incredible gift. I will tell you this right now, when people ask me why I still live in Illinois, which is a completely valid question based on the things we talk about on a regular basis. All four of my kids' grandparents are within 10 minutes. That is all there is to it. That's all you need to know. We've got a guest in our studio right now. McKinley is in.
Hi.
Hi. We're excited to have you. McKinley is a new colleague of ours here at the station. You are, what is your official job title?
I'm a sales assistant.
Sales assistant.
Yes.
And you said you have a little experience in radio. You've been on air before?
Yeah, I'm a radio major, radio TV broadcasting. I've been on air for a bit. I did some sales here and there. I've done a toe in everything. I step everywhere.
That's perfect. Well, we wanted you were hanging out with us in the 2 o'clock hour, so you could kind of get to know our show a little bit more, and to watch Ryan Wiggins in action. I think is really. Did you pay her to come in here?
No.
She was literally over your shoulder that whole time.
I just walked by and I sort of like did one of those up nods.
Yeah, it's weird.
And she was like, "Oh, I need to follow that." So that was just outside.
So rude.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go to HR next. Real quick here, since you're a professional and you're from the industry, McKinley, just get a letter grade. How did Ryan Wiggins do? It's very okay to be completely
letter grade?
honest.
I would say B. There's always room for improvement.
You know what?
You're going to fit in just
within
fine.
a couple
McKinley's
weeks.
America, 12:45 on Monday.
Within a couple weeks, she's going to be giving me D's and F's. She's already on that road. You can tell that she's heading there, but she was being nice. In a couple weeks, the niceness is going to be gone.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
We asked McKinley if she had any veterans in her family, and you said you do.
I do. My grandpa, he served in Vietnam. He definitely pulls one of those grandpa moves like, sit down, let me tell you about the war. And I'm like, okay, grandpa, got it. And I'll like show like little medals and stuff he had. He just opened his own kind of like Ashcombe History Museum. It's completely just his own little thing because he likes collecting things. So he's like, I don't know what to do with it all, so I'm gonna put it all in there. So I'm guessing, so I'm guessing that's where he's putting all of his stuff at, somewhere in there.
That's pretty cool. Ryan Wiggins is working on the same thing, but with Dr. Pepper merchandise.
Yeah, I've got like 4 things.
I understand that, Dr. Pepper.
You're not a grandpa yet, though.
No,
There's
I got
still
plenty of time.
Yeah.
My kids don't have kids.
Well, happy Veterans Day, because they're small. Happy Veterans Day to your grandpa.
Oh, yes.
Ryan, is there anybody that you wanted to acknowledge as we move into Veterans Day here?
Yeah, there is. Really just a very close friend of mine, Michael Morris. Been friends with him for a long, long time, actually before he was in the military, and we maintained friendship throughout his service in the Air Force. Now he is, I think, serving as a civilian, but still working for the Air Force in Japan. So maybe he'll hear this at some point. He listens to the show every now and then online. So huge, just a really good friend, a very dedicated veteran. He loves America. I mean, we talk about it, and he is a prayer warrior too. And I thank him for pretty much everything he's ever done because he's an awesome guy.
Leah, is there anybody you can think of that in your family that you want to recognize? I think it's kind of interesting knowing how far we have been. I mean, the Afghanistan war, the Iraq war, I was in college when that was breaking out. But when you stop and you think about all the people who are veterans in your life, there aren't always a long list of them, which when you think about how we've moved through the decades, that has dramatically changed. So, Leah, I didn't know if you had anyone, but do you?
Yeah, I was telling Brad earlier, my uncle was in one of the branches of military, and I don't know which one, but he passed away recently, so I'm not sure. And then I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, but my dad was in the Navy for a bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't, graduate or whatever, but he was in it for a little bit, so.
Well, we thank him as well. Yeah. Brad?
Man, I have you said you don't know a lot of people. There are a lot of military
Brad's
vets
got
at
a
my
notebook.
church. Yeah, I do. I started writing names.
Yeah,
but
acknowledge them.
I don't want to say them all because I might miss somebody at my church. So every veteran that has served at Victory Church, thank you so much for your service. But one person I do want to point out is Kristen Cannon. She is younger than me, and she served. She was a nurse, and she served considerable time at Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. And she would be the nurse that would greet the Special Forces soldiers that were injured as they came off of the helicopters. And the story that I want to tell is we went and picked her up after her tour ended in Afghanistan. We picked her up at the airport, and when she got off the plane, she was still in her fatigues, and she had blood on her boots still from what they did. But she was the exact right person at the exact right time to be over there. So thank you so much for your service, Kristen.
Anybody else?
There's Dave, there's Will, there's Eldon, there's Paul, there's Josh, there's Phil, there's Taurus, there's Eric, there's Ryan, there's Tanya, there's Tony, there's Justin, there's Anton, and there's Mark, and there's so many more that I'm missing.
No, I get it. You don't want to miss anyone. I want to, in addition to my grandpa, who is, who I kind of consider to be my vet, on my husband's behalf, I know that he has a cousin, Patrick. His grandpa served, his paternal grandpa served. His cousin, Mark, is in the Marines. Thank you to all of them. And on my side, my dear friend, Aaron, I'm so grateful for everything you have done for this country. My dear friend from childhood, Eric, Jenny, and Ryan, both new friends of mine. So grateful for your service, and others who I'm forgetting. As Brad said, I'm sure Ryan, Leah, McKinley, we all know people, and then you'll be driving home and be like, oh my gosh, why did I miss that person? Blanket statement, speechless gratitude. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, are you or do you love a veteran? Your options are, I am a veteran, I salute a veteran, which we wanted to know in the comments. And the last option is, I'm a communist. We do have 2%, which is probably about accurate to culture. 2% communist.
Yeah.
On in. 24% of the almost 200 people voting said that they are veterans themselves.
Wow.
Immense amount of gratitude to you. And the last option there, I salute a veteran. 74% of the options, or of the people voted, 74% wanted to salute a veteran. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thank you. We'll be back Monday.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. We've got a Reardon Roundtable right after Fox News. Jane is here. State Rep Donna Behringer, St. Charles County Councilman, and you hear him here on 97.1 FM Talk a lot, Mike Elam. It's just minutes away. Hang in there.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join 97.1 FM Talk and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3